Cultivating mature positivity.
CMPRadio.net.
CMPRadio.net, it's the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's cultivate together, man.
I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. Make money, increase the grind. Just know that I'm good as long as I know that all of my people fine. You can never compete with time. Tell America cease to fire. Just cause I'm black don't mean that I'm strapped. And if I am, just look where I'm at. But it's too hard here, I can't sign that. Like where that dough at, cause I'm gon' find that. It took some time, but I got my grind back. I go so hard, yeah, I don't climax. Ain't no slick shit, you can't comprehend. I know business, I know finance. I know this is, I know I am one of a kind, I'm like a modern day Rakim. If I ain't the top 5, I gotta be top 10. The lyrical monster, take a look at the content. Yeah, shit ain't never the same. A free man like my government name. See, I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. A nice house and a decent ride. Whenever you want more, you gotta go look for it. Whatever you seek, you find. I wanna see all my people rise and try to settle this beef aside. It's enough money for you, it's enough money for me. But they don't wanna get paid, them niggas wanna compete. I don't wanna compare, I just wanna achieve. I put my life in these lines, I wear my heart on my sleeve. How you sit on your ass and then you call it a dream. Got my foot on the gas, cause I got quotas to reach. Got a junior to raise, I got the daughters to teach. I gotta give them the ropes, nobody told them to me. Yeah, they hate to see a black man winning, but I see right through him like a cat scan with it. I remember back when I was pitching backhand with it, running base with a 9 like the last damn minute. Yeah, I made the evident change, a free man like my government name. See, I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind. I'm just trying to get a peace of mind.
CMPRadio.net, man. It's the morning meeting. We are live from the Cultivating Mature Positivity Studios. Man, I got Miss Info in the building with me. How you feeling, Miss Info? How you feeling?
Oh, you know, I'm okay. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the morning meeting. What's crazy? That this mic is more clear than my other one?
Headphones, man.
It's not the headphones. It's the
It
mic.
is the headphones.
Well, it sounds different over here. It's the clarity. Hey, y'all.
It's the headphones.
It's the headphones. So these headphones are the least used headphones in the station. So they are the best pair.
No, they're the headphones that nobody broke.
I just said it, but these the least used ones.
No,
Nobody's
they're
there.
not. Everybody sits there
Where?
in the middle seat. You and Kenny are the only people that put space between y'all.
It's called social distancing.
Mic check. It's not called
They like
social
sitting next to
distancing.
each
It's
other.
not. Mic check uses it.
Sit next to each other.
Everybody.
All this space in this room, you want to sit next to somebody else. Leave a seat between us.
Say the damn sponsors, bro.
I'm just trying to find. I'm trying to find it on the stuff. Good morning.
Oh, no
y'all.
problem, Rob. It's okay. I wasn't upset, right? I know there were carnivals at. I know what I remembered at Memorial Park, right? Whether or not you remember.
That was towards me, Rob. It wasn't for you. And I'm not going to apologize because I still don't know. But thank you for being such a good person and apologizing.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're
I'm a
wrong,
woman.
you apologize.
I'm a
Unlike
woman.
Nafati, who be wrong and just
I'm
be
a
like,
woman.
I ain't know.
No,
I ain't. Well, I thought
still
had.
never
Well,
heard
I don't
of
get.
it.
She just dig deeper into it.
Yeah, and I still.
Because I read a book. Because the book fell from the sky and I seen it. Yeah, that's what she do.
Well, nonetheless, I'm not apologizing because I still don't remember a carnival being in Memorial Park.
Anything
But
not to
also,
apologize.
I'm a woman.
So you don't think women need to apologize?
When they feel like it. When they should when they should, but this ain't one of the should moments for me.
It ain't never a shit moment for you.
That's a lie. I just apologized to you the other day,
When?
bro.
When? For
it's
what?
in the text.
For
I
what?
said, bro, I'm sorry. I don't
what?
really know what it was for, but I still
You didn't. She ain't never apologized to me, not for T. What text?
I said I was sorry.
Definitely didn't.
I'm telling you, I did. I might have said it on your Facebook status too.
Definitely didn't.
That's a shame. That is such a shame. I have apologized before you.
No, you haven't.
That's a shame. I'm gonna knock the shit out you when we get ready to leave.
It's
out
okay.
Here.
It's all right. It won't be nothing.
Hey sis.
You apologize.
Hey, I
need
did
to find this
apologize.
text. Yeah, I would have.
Just look at your search bar and put sorry in there or apologize at the top of our text. I'm telling you, I have apologized to you, and it might not have been for nothing in specific, but it was an apology.
Definitely was no apology.
Sad. Anywho,
I'ma
shout
do
out
that
to
too.
our sponsors.
My search bar and put sorry in there.
And how many people say it?
Literally, no women.
That is not true. That cannot be true. That cannot be true.
No women.
Women do have a bad problem with apologizing. We just start talking back to you like it never happened. But and I can admit to that. I have done that several times. Like just start back having a conversation like we never fussed. Listen, we're gonna
It's
start
me
this thing.
saying I'm sorry more than anything. I say sorry a lot.
See, that's the bad word. You gotta remove that from your vocabulary.
I'm not going because if I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I'm scrolling and
well.
I'll show everybody. Look at all these. Right.
All them sorries.
And none of those joints have Nafati name on them.
That is not
Look at all
true.
these.
That is
Look,
not
look at
true.
all these sorries. And Pierre is a sorry ass motherfucker. Look.
You do not
look.
say sorry that many times.
Look.
Yo, bro, you need to empty
Look.
your text threads.
That joint and they go all the way back to 2000.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
2000.
2000.
Yep. And not one name is not
21 years ago.
no 20.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Oh. I'm like, what? Well, anyway, shout out to our sponsors, Northern
Damn.
Marketing, Mecca, Mind Our Own Business, LeBron Construction, KC Electric, the Boys and Girls Club of Chester, Pressure Inc., TFG Tax Pros, and the Abstract Kings. If you know what I know, you would go and support these black-owned businesses because these black-owned businesses in our community support you. That's all I'm saying.
That's one and it's me. Sorry, sis, dealing with the BS. Send it down.
What?
That was what I said to you.
Boy, I know
I didn't get the call, but I'm sorry. I slipped my mind. I sent it today. That's me again. Send it.
That is me
Good
to
morning.
you.
Good morning. I'm sorry. This is me.
That is me to you.
No.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm sorry. That's me.
Good morning. I'm sorry. That's me.
That's me. You
That
feel
is
me?
horrible.
No, ain't no sorries from you.
I mean, that is the one text that you just read. Good morning. I'm
I'm
sorry.
always sorry, bro. Like
I'll send it now
it's
was
always
me.
me. It's always me apologizing.
I don't really care. I said it. I know I have apologized several times.
No, you have never apologized. Are you apologizing now? That's what you're saying?
For what?
See?
The Memorial Park thing? I'm not apologizing for the
No,
Memorial
you don't got to
Park.
apologize for the Memorial Park.
You know what's crazy?
Park thing.
I do not say, I really hate when I say, or mistakenly say sorry, because I'm not a sorry person. I will apologize. I can be apologetic, but I'm not a sorry person. Like, there's nothing, like, remotely sorry about me. Like, I'm not that type of person.
I'm a sorry ass nigga, man. I just keep saying
You
sorry.
just keep saying sorry. That's because your actions don't change, so that's why people keep saying they're sorry. Yeah.
No, these are different people.
And,
I think
yeah,
I'd just be saying
Sorry
sorry just to
for
shut
anything.
people up.
that's
I
a
think
shame.
that's the end of my conversation.
I'm
I just
never accepting a sorry from you ever again.
yeah,
That's
'cause,
it.
I mean, this is everybody. Everybody's on this joint.
He said everybody on this joint.
Everybody. Literally every fucking body.
Good morning.
So if I ever said I'm sorry to you,
He didn't really mean it.
I'm not gonna say I didn't really mean it. I'm just gonna say
I went to our Dunkin' Donuts this morning. They said that they had missed us and said you came yesterday. Sorry for all the noise, y'all. It's the clarity of this microphone over here.
why would you be eating?
I'm hungry. I didn't eat last night.
So why didn't you eat?
I had a rough
What time
day.
did you wake up? Like
4:30.
like this is what I'm saying. What time did you wake up in the morning?
4:30.
You're bullshitting. And you ain't eat since you've been up for 4:30?
No. Then I tried to go back to sleep, and then all my neighbors started walking and making all this noise. It's a mess. I was up at 4:30 this morning. So I'm not a senior citizen. I don't get up and eat breakfast and have a cup of tea. Maybe I should start that. I'll be up early enough. You gonna stay in your phone looking at all your sorry texts?
Yeah, because this is sad.
I'm in here.
And it's me apologizing.
Sorry equals shut up. I agree with that, Jabri. Because if he's saying sorry that many times, did you see how many text messages he had? Shout out to Jabri for yesterday. So let me tell you, Jabri did
This joint is major.
the Sweet 16 for my nephew yesterday at
That's a lot of sorry text.
the Waterfalls Ballroom. And I'm going to say this. When people need you, they call you. I did not get an invite to my nephew's birthday party yesterday.
Why would you get one?
Why wouldn't I get one?
Why would you get
When
one?
his mother needs something, she called me on the phone.
Well, then you served your purpose.
Ooh, let me tell you something. I have served a lot of purposes, and I can't stand it. Not that I expected an invite or anything, because I don't go around people how I once did.
So
But-
if you don't go around people and you're not expecting the invite,
You
how
still
can you
extend the invite.
Huh?
You still extend the invite.
For what?
It's just courtesy. You
Well, maybe
still
there were
extend the
other
invite.
people invited that you don't get along with.
I don't give a flying fuck. You still extend it because I don't give a flying fuck, because if you couldn't call on them other people for what you called on me for, then I was supposed to be extended the invite. For me to decline purposely, but you still extend the invite. I'm sorry. I can't stand that one-sided invitation list. I don't like it at all.
One-sided invitation list.
Yeah, where you constantly doing the inviting, but you're never invited. I saw somebody say,
You do a lot of inviting,
yeah, but I invite the same people over and over
and
again.
you're never invited.
Nope,
So
never.
so maybe it's your attitude.
Maybe it's my attitude. It probably is, but my attitude is beneficial when
In
it's
certain
beneficial
in
to
certain in certain
them.
cases.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. You think somebody sees your attitude as beneficial?
Beneficial to them. Yeah. You thought I would have been there because my son was there? I know.
Damn.
Yeah.
That has to hurt though, to not
No.
be invited to certain situations, right? Not
No, it
hurt,
don't-
not
it
hurt
don't
as
hurt.
far as like, but just like all around, like damn, like you can call on me when you need me.
Which was just a week and a half ago.
But when you have victories or you have something worth being celebrated, I don't get a phone call. So,
Yeah.
that I don't know how it makes you feel. I know it absolutely hurts me, right? In
No,
that
it don't
situation to be used, because that's what you're doing. You're using me to get what you need, and then once you get what you need, there's no invite of me being able to celebrate that victory that you just had.
Well, I know you had to flip a coin between me being there and someone else being there. And I would have went with the someone else too.
Why?
But you would still, because it's the right thing to do. And that's like my personal opinion. I miss you too.
Leslie, ain't nobody had time to miss you because
I miss you, Leslie.
you was absent for your surgery and you've been around
Ever
ever
since.
since. Go lay your ass down
She
somewhere.
is laying down. She just laying down and still around. On FaceTime, in the Zoom chat, all of that. But I would have picked the other person too. It was just the right thing to do. But my thing is, people try to please other people instead of pleasing the people who please you as well. Like that's all I'm saying. So, yep, Jabri. But great job though. It was a beautiful party. Now I get a phone call later on and be like, "Sister, I did not mean it like that." That's just how the phone call gonna come in, and I'm gonna say, "What you say? Oh, you watch my show? Okay,
Your show?
my show.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Handle your show.
You're so petty. You're so petty." Anywho, he want me to handle the show, so I'm gonna say some stuff he don't want me to say, and then he'll cut my mic off.
No, I ain't. I don't give a rat's ass what nobody said.
Are we gonna talk about this video that was surfaced? What was it? Day before yesterday? I just seen it yesterday.
What video?
The video with the young Thad.
Young Thad?
The young Thad. That was the young, not yet tainted Thad.
Not yet tainted.
Not yet tainted Thad. You know, the fresh politician. The one who comes in with the S on his chest. He gonna save us all. We gonna talk about it? That's what that Thad was.
I mean, I don't. I do know what video you're talking about.
You seen the video? Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So the video surfaced where Thad was talking about Cavanta, which was then Westinghouse.
Westinghouse.
So, which was then Westinghouse. And Thad was saying how they didn't need to be in the city of Chester, trash didn't need to be burnt here and blah, 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 blah. That was the young Thad, the enthusiastic Thad. That's what we gonna call him. That's who that was.
You
Told
think when
y'all.
he made that video, he thought he would ever be the opposite of what he was asking for?
Nobody goes in thinking that. Not one politician has ever sat in a seat and promised any citizens of whatever municipality they have ran for have ever thought that they would be on the opposite side of the table making a decision to constantly and continually do exactly what you fought against in the beginning. No politician goes in there thinking that. No person goes in there thinking it, no matter what job they hold. So that young, enthusiastic, S on his chest wearing Thad back then had a vision for our city and the other municipalities surrounding our city that he couldn't keep the promise for because he had to agree with some people when he didn't want to agree.
Damn.
Hey, Tori.
So you saw this video.
I saw the video.
Why you ain't send it to me?
I screenshot the cover because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget it this morning. For some reason, when I fall asleep, I forget what I read last night. I'm going to send it to you in your inbox. But you said you saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, after last week,
After last week?
after being called up and talked to, and I don't care.
We can't have the I don't care attitude.
I don't.
Now we letting them win. You know the people who
there-
once cared.
obviously
who were
there
brought,
is no other repercussion. There's nothing else I can do, right? Because
still continue to be who you are. See, once one person puts up a speed bump because it's not a roadblock, they put up a speed
I don't mind the speed bump.
You just have to slow down or take a different route.
I was detoured.
The detours are great.
The detours.
Because that's what we found out with the detour.
You can find these things out now because you do what you do on your own. You don't rely on anybody. I can't do that.
So you know what happens with detours? They send you in a better direction.
So we talked earlier about somebody trying to do something, right? Mm-hmm. And you was like, oh, all right, yeah, that's what they do.
Right.
See, how do I pay the rent here at the radio station?
You know what? I have no idea.
Right. Do a job that I have. And
let me tell you something.
if
However
I
you
detour,
do it,
if
it's a
I detour from that job, then the rent doesn't get paid here.
True.
So then there's no radio station.
Not true.
All right. Well, then I need
just fair.
I need 1,500, and that's how much the rent is here. Right?
Okay. Everybody has some type of responsibility on their plate, some way, and their way of handling it is their way of handling it. However, we'll talk after the show.
Ain't no we'll talk after the show. We're talking right now.
I told you about a list yesterday. I mean, if you want a copy of the list, you can go for the list.
I'm not going for the list. That's completely different from what CMP stands for. I don't have a problem with going
for the list
there. I don't have a problem with that. Like I honestly, it would probably give me a better vibe than the vibe that I'm receiving right now. Because at no point did I ever start this radio station to belittle anybody, to hurt anybody.
Well, people don't like for you. So people look at hurt and
it's
when
fear.
you telling the truth about them.
It's fear. It's absolute fear. And you remember when I said it was fear? You was like, it ain't fear. It's fear.
We wasn't talking about that. We were now when I said it wasn't fear, it wasn't on this aspect. This is fear. This is fear that people are actually listening to what we have to say about holding them accountable.
So hold on.
No,
what were we? Hold on. Stop. Mm-hmm. Because you always do that. So what were we talking about before?
We were talking about them having power. Yeah.
And I said the fear of losing their power.
No, that's not what you said. You said they're scared. That's why they talk down to people. That's what you said. It wasn't about fear of losing power. I said no. That's arrogance. So now that they have fear, their fear of losing power now is to now lie on everything and everyone that's telling the truth about them. Now this is fear. This is what you call fear. I'm gonna tuck my tail between my legs, but I'm gonna make sure that before they can get everything out that they want to say about me, I'm gonna say everything about them that may or may not be true.
Well, you can't say nothing about me. I already said all my shit.
Yeah.
like literally, I sit up here every day and I say all my shit. I ain't shit. I've done some things in my life that I wish I never did.
Tell your own story first.
I done cheated. I done some things, but
see the fear of losing
I remember
power
the fear of losing power convo.
Yeah, so this is not the same type of fear. The fear that you mentioned, I don't agree with. I don't think that their fear of that they have that fear with being that type of fear. They have the fear of losing power now, so they're telling all kinds of
Well, I was
lies.
talking about the fear of losing power then.
No, we was talking about them being not feeling as though they have to answer to anyone. It wasn't about losing power at all. We can go back and watch.
I mean, he said, I remember the fear of losing power convo, so it's an old convo, so we had that conversation. But okay, go ahead. Carry on.
You just irk my soul.
Yeah, I irk a lot of people.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I irk a lot of people.
That's a good thing. You know when you feel like giving up is when your best come up is coming?
Wow, this shit is hard.
I know.
This shit
And
is-
you know your best come up is coming. When you feel like I can't give nothing else, that means something is about to be given to you. I don't care what anybody has to say. Hey mom, as long as you know your heart and your intentions, you continue on to do what you can do. Just like the young enthusiastic dad that sat in that video and said that
But he didn't have to change. He didn't have to change from who he was.
He had to.
I feel like there was a moment in his life when he was changed by the people that were in power, right? It's absolutely sad, bro. It's absolutely sad because
what? He was fighting for us.
I voted for him. I campaigned for him. I campaigned for Al Jacobs. I campaigned for the whole Democratic Party. I got my ass whooped by Chester police because of them. Because before they were in power, Battenary, he was a Republican, right?
He still is.
Right, he still is. But, he said to me, he was like, you worried about them crackheads, and he whooped my ass on 21st Street, him and Jackson, right? And I went to jail behind that situation, right? Mm-hmm. And then for you today to think, this radio station sees both sides, right? I've had the conversations with Brian Kirkland. I've told him to come up here to the radio station. Then the fact that a lady pays me, right, to keep the radio station running. She paid me for advertisement. Why wouldn't Brian Kirkland buy advertisement on the radio station?
I don't know what lady we talking about.
The lady that you interviewed.
She was full of shit. So I can't.
So there are people that everybody's full of shit.
No,
Everybody.
that's true.
So how can you call somebody full of shit when
I'ma
everybody else is
I'ma
full of
say that
shit?
she only paid because she thought that we were oppositions to the whole Kirkland family. She didn't pay because she wanted to respectfully get her message out. That's not why she paid.
Why did she think
People
that
only
we were opposition?
People
Who
only
was the
come-
opposition at that time?
Me. They know how I feel about the whole entire Democratic Party that sits over there in the council seats. They know how I feel about what they're doing and how I constantly say things about it. And she only paid to come here thinking that we were going to jump on her train and ride with her till the wheels fell off. But until she just ran into somebody who called on her bullshit, me again. So when she paid you, don't get me wrong, respectfully, I respectfully am happy that she came to pay. But her intentions wasn't as good as we wish them to believe. Nobody's intentions is good. Most of them come here because they think that we have such a bad relationship with the council that sits over there.
I don't have a bad relationship. I don't think I have a bad relationship with anybody. I see these men as leaders in my community.
Right.
I just want them to be accountable and transparent.
Right.
I want them to share their information that they have.
And when they don't, what we say? We asked them to come up here, but they didn't. So then somebody
Do I
asked
get
them,
mad at them? No.
Not at
do,
all.
Do I? Do
They
I?
don't understand that when
do
we
I?
walk
Do I
away-
sit there and say I'm gonna call up this person and do? No. I just want the community to be able to hear the messages this shit fucking hear. Right? If a community that doesn't communicate properly is not a fucking community, bro. In no way, shape, form, or fashion. Every community has a level of communication that's coming from the top to the fucking bottom. And when you don't have that and you missing that and it's knocked out, it's not a fucking community. What it is a dictatorship, and it's what I say. And if you don't believe in my story, then this is. And I ain't about to get deep in that shit, bro. Like, cause it's sad.
What they said.
And for me right now, it's like, I can't say but so much. So.
Well, they are upset because they don't want people to know their truth. I mean, their definition of their truth is they're doing everything they can possibly do to keep the city afloat from what other administrations have put the city through. So everybody goes in with the same exact S on their chest. We're going to save the city. We're going to do this. We're going to get up. We're going to make this right. We're going to get us out of debt. We're going to buy up everything that we once lost. We're going to turn the city back around. We're going to bring big businesses back to the city. They all went in with that same S. They all went in with that same exact, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We got it. And then they get there and they realize it's not easy as it was said. When people always ask the question, well, why don't you run? And one of them over there said, well, you always running your mouth. Why don't you run? And I said, what good can I do from the inside? See, working on the outside, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can say whatever you want to say.
But that ain't changing jack shit.
It does. It make other people look and see.
What?
It makes other people look and see.
Where?
And from when you on the outside looking in, when you on the outside saying what they not doing, it makes other people see what they're not doing.
And
when
then
you're on
who
the outside
runs?
seeing what they're
And
doing,
then who runs?
whoever decides that they have the S next.
If Stephon Roots didn't decide that he wanted to run, there would be nobody running.
I have I can't speak on that. I can't speak on it.
Nobody's running.
Right, because nobody finds it important. Nobody finds it important. Nobody thinks that what the city is going through has any issues with them. It's not personal with them. He turned his mic on. They're letting out the stimulus checks for the community in Pennsylvania. Do Chester get any of the stimulus money for Chester for the communities? It's like $35 billion. Mom, I have no idea. I have no idea. Hey, Mom. I have
Good morning, Mom. How you doing?
I have no idea what the $35 billion is for all of the different municipalities and everything. I saw people yesterday say what they do with it. This is the ignorance in it, right? So Biden passed a restore bill. I'm gonna call it the restore bill. And they gave Chester, how much was it? $33 million.
Mm-hmm.
Is that to be split between Chester and Darby, or Chester just got the $33 million?
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, they passed the bill and they supposedly gave us $33 million. And some jackass said they spent it and they brought new houses and new cars.
Who?
It was in the comments from the video from the young Thad, the young enthusiastic Thad. So in the comments, everybody's talking about this money that they got, but I'm kind of sad that everybody is ignoring the fact of different things that are being done in the city of Chester, and different constructions that is being completed in the city of Chester and things like that. You have to show that some things are being done. You have to show that the money is spent in some type of way, despite the fact of what you may be able to take. You can't take it all. So you have to do something. They were complaining about the grass not being cut and also other stuff. If the city does not own the lot, the city is not responsible for cutting the lot. So they said the A field needed to be cut. That's not a city lot. That's a district lot, right? The district also has a janitorial team and a landscaping team, the whole maintenance crew that's supposed to cut it. So why are we looking for the city to cut the grass that the school district is supposed to cut? They got a check for that too. People always want to point the finger, but then they start pointing at the wrong side. It's a lot on 3rd and Central. That does not belong to the city. Have I seen the city cutting it? Absolutely. The city has cut it, but the city has not, they do not own it. They only cut it because it gets so high, and then they find the people who actually own the lot. Now, here we are. It's a lot of tall weeds and high grass, and the inspectors are supposed to go out and send fines and all of that stuff. And are they doing their jobs? I believe they are, because at one point in time, I had gotten a fine, and I don't even think my lots was that high. But are they doing their job? Absolutely. Are they doing what needs to be done? I don't know. Do they have enough manpower to do so? I don't know. But I will say this. It's not only their responsibility to make sure that our city is clean. It's not only their responsibility to make sure that our city is cut, our grass is cut. It's not only their responsibility to make sure certain things in our neighborhoods and on our street corners are how we wish them to be. It's our responsibility too.
I see the sidewalk work being done on the corners. Not one of them are black.
I saw 2 black people. Don't do that. I did. Chris was on the corner. That's the bull who said he was great tuned in that day. He was on the corner with the Stormwater Authority, new routes for the water.
3rd and Palmer right now.
3rd and Palmer.
I mean, we got tons of people with again, the community doesn't have things because the community doesn't want to do things, right? And that's where we are. Drew said, no disrespect to whoever run, they're going to realize the same thing Thad did.
Yeah, but I keep saying that.
And if that's the case, then there will never be a champion. We will never, ever come out of it if everyone that goes in is going to be the same thing. If we feel like anyone that goes in, if Nafati goes in, she's going to be just like that. If Pierre go in, he going to be just like that. Like at some point you realize that you have a voice and you need to be heard. And there are people that care about the city of Chester that work overtime. I'm not going to say there aren't people that care. I'm not going to say nobody gives a rat's ass. The whole situation isn't fucked up. I just think it's the way they go about doing business. And when you do business kind of like illegally, where you don't want to tell the people what you're doing, then of course everything is going to be fucked up.
Well, how about I tell the people what I'm doing, but they just don't show up for the meetings where I'm telling the people what I'm doing?
That system is not ours, but that's the system that runs governments. And until the system that you want, Drew, is up and running and can supplant and take care of the people and feed the people and house the people and clothe the people, then that system that you have will continue to be that system that you have. Right, it's not ours. Well, I don't know what system is ours. We can sit here and say we're not. We're American. We're more American. We're not like. However it works, right? It needs to be a system that can work, and people need to see that. And if they don't see it, then it'll never happen. We're talking about people that don't even believe that a motherfucker is really going to run and change shit because you see the last motherfucker didn't change. That was his personal situation.
It's everybody's personal situation. You're not gonna tell me that everybody ends up the same exact way. They do.
So then Wendell Butler
there,
was the same exact way.
Wendell Butler did whatever he did. The administration that came after him blamed Wendell Butler for a million things. Guess what? When Wendell Butler and the Republicans was sitting over in them seats, the same shit they saying about Fed and his squad, they said about Wendell and his squad. They wasn't doing nothing in the city.
So it's the people that are outside. So maybe they're right. The city doesn't need a voice.
Well, from the outside looking in, it always looks like they ain't doing nothing. From the outside looking in, it always looks like they so.
I didn't say they weren't doing anything. I said they aren't sharing.
No,
what
not
they are
not
doing.
you.
Right.
Everybody says they're not doing anything. They haven't done anything for the city. They didn't do this. They didn't do that.
They did some things.
And then when you turn around, so after Wendell Butler's term was over and he was no longer the mayor of Chester, they started to say, oh, wow, 291 has expanded. Oh, wow, the ramps going to and from Jersey have been put up. Oh, wow, this has been done. You didn't notice it while he was here? Oh, wow, we had a waterfront ramble every year that cost thousands of dollars, and we had businesses on 291 that was actually there and operable and paying bills. Oh, wow, we had lights all throughout the city. You notice all these things after they're gone. You don't notice it while they're there. You want something instantly from them. The same thing with that and his crew.
Don't nobody notice things until they're gone. Don't nobody notice that the fact that mom was paying the water bill until she doesn't pay the water bill. Then you're like, your mom don't ever pay the water bill. This is your first time complaining. Shut the fuck up.
So these are constant complainers. They wanted the Republican administration out. They wanted them to leave. They said they weren't doing anything, which was considered not doing anything for the Democrats. So if we're going to call it by a R and a D, that's how they were looking at it. They wasn't looking at the individual person as being an ignorant individual, because if you have a personal conversation with any of them, I mean, Thad, Wendell, Portia, they don't talk how they talk when it's just you and them. Then when they get in front of other people and they got to put on this smug look on their face and stand stern.
Yeah, I'm not for that. I'm not for that shit.
But this is the world today.
Well,
we have private conversations.
We have to change it.
How?
What do you mean?
You can only change you. You can't change it. You have to be a better you, and hope that one day they'll wake up and be a better them. Until somebody over there exposes them over there, nothing will ever happen.
Well, that's the thing. We can't be concerned with them. We have to be concerned with us.
Oh, really?
Right. Absolutely.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
What has the radio station been pushing since we've been here?
Accountability
and transparency.
If
it doesn't have to leak.
So
it doesn't have to leak into the people that are leading us. It leaks into us, and then we understand, like, cultivate mature positivity. This is what we're about. Yo, what's up? You promote somebody, you help somebody, you help a business grow. That business reaches back and helps another business grow, and then we have what we need to have. Until we do all of those things, man, we don't have nothing. Until we're able to do those things as a community, we don't have anything, really. And then we're stuck with the leadership that we have.
No, but as a community, we got to stop relying and requiring for them to do things we're not willing to do ourselves, though. We sitting here pointing fingers at them saying they not doing X, Y, and Z, when what the fuck are we doing? How about you pick the trash up in front of your door before you start saying the city workers is not picking up the trash in front of their doors? They're getting paid minimum wage.
Are you picking up the trash in front of your door?
See, we're not talking about my house.
See, but you can't tell people.
My block is clean.
Your
bro.
block is clean. Is the front of your house clean?
The front of my house is clean.
Right.
If I don't clean it, my neighbors will.
So if you're
doing a different type of community,
if you're doing, but you were living in Nova Vista too, right?
And the same thing happens over there.
Right. So if you're in the
except for that one neighbor, she just cut down the line and don't cut the other side. That's how she is.
You can't sit there. You said there it is, P. We could do it. You saying like it's not. I'm not saying it's impossible. You can't expect me to know something that I don't see.
Right.
Right. When Drew talks about the reclamation of the old ways, well, I don't see the old ways. I see the new ways currently. Mm-hmm. But if you can put people together in the community and say, oh, all right, this is the stopgap. We have people that are in charge of our community. Mm. We have sector leaders. We got somebody in the McCaff. We got somebody in the Bennett. We got somebody in the LV. We got somebody in all these situations that those people go and talk to when things ain't right. Mm. Then we have a meeting and we come together and we say, all right, how are we supposed to fix these situations? If we become powerful like that, then whoever's in charge doesn't matter. We had fucking Trump was running the country for 4 years, and what did niggas say? I'm gonna go do my shit. I'm going to go get my shit. It was more black businesses established, more black businesses controlling things. And then people started saying, oh, shit, you can really do that. Now, this PPP shit done got everybody, a little bonkers. But just be careful out there, please. Be absolutely careful out there with that PPP money. But let me see your stomach, right? But, you just said what we have to do. I can say it, but where is it, right? I'm saying it just as far as the infrastructure for us. We need to, we put a mayor up there, right? And they're not there. It's not a fugazi mayor, but it's a person that speaks to the community. We put the city council up there. It's not a fugazi council. It's people that speak to the community. Then we put people in charge in the community that are a part of the community and care about the community.
Block captains and
right. You need all of that.
What is it called? Your committee person.
You need all of that, and you got a block. You live on 8th and Lincoln, between Lincoln and whatever that next street is. You pick a house, and that person is that cap.
They had that.
Well, we need to bring those things back.
They had that before the Linder administration took over. They had the committee person. You had to go, and that person will report back to the administration and let them know what was going on in the community. That person will report back and say, hey, listen, we haven't had trash picked up in a week, or last week they missed a couple houses, or whatever the case may be. No one no longer holds that position because no one cares about what's going on right now that's not affecting their own personal homes. See, back 10, 15 years before now, people cared about a little bit more than they do now. They cared about what was going on inside of the whole block.
I want to say 25 years. I'm gonna go back all the way back to 1992.
Nah, I got more than that. We had a storm here. A little mild hurricane came through, and trees fell and things like that. The community cared then. We got out. We moved the trees down.
Your caring can't be because an event knocked things back or knocked trees down. Your caring has to extend into new. And this is why I say 1992.
Let me finish about the storm, because the community had to come out and clean the storm up. In order for us to get up and down and maneuver up and down 9th Street, we had to get out there and help the workers move those trees. People with trucks. Big trucks, and they had dump trucks and all kinds of stuff. People was volunteering their time and coming out and actually helping their community without expecting anything in return. That we have to get back to that. That was just like 10 years ago. When that storm came through, I don't even know if it was that long ago. But when that storm came through, if you had a pickup truck, you tied a chain around a tree and pulled it out the street. Edgemont Avenue had 16 trees down. Chester City couldn't get it done, and I'd be damned if the county came out and helped us. The county ain't come out to help us. So when it was all said and done, it's like this. When you get to the point where
why didn't
you
the
don't
county
feel
come
like
out and help us?
it was other things that was going on around us. The highways was jacked up. Trees had fell in media and all this other stuff. Nobody came to help us. We did this on our own. When they finally came to help us, it was like a day or two later. If I'm mistaken, correct me. But I'm telling you, I watched the citizens, these men that own homes here, these renters get out here cleaning up debris, moving trees, cutting, using chainsaws and everything, getting our city together.
And then, so if everybody was getting the city together, why did you bring up the argument that people aren't cleaning in front of their house?
They're not.
So how do you have both of those situations?
Because they're not doing that anymore. They no longer I didn't say anything about anybody cleaning in front of anybody's house.
You did say that. You said you can't be talking about the city workers not cleaning when you don't come out and clean the front of your house.
I don't think that's what I said.
That's
but I
exactly
would
what the
just go
fuck
ahead
you
and agree with
said.
You.
Nah.
You asked me did I clean in front of my house. I said
No.
you can't say that about my house.
No, if you
I don't remember saying that. Sorry, but
you
can't be mad at the city workers if they're doing it. If you're not, that's all I'm saying. If that's your point, they're not cleaning in front of their houses though.
No, I was just trying to, because you said
I don't
the
remember
people
saying
came
that.
out.
650. I don't remember saying that. I'm sorry. I don't remember saying that part. But if I said it, then I said it. I did drill because I don't remember saying that part. I'm serious. Well, if I said what I said. But then 10 years ago, well, I also said that 10 years ago people cared a little bit more than they do now. Yeah. So, I don't know. But I don't remember saying that part. I'm sorry.
Would you be aware?
I'm over here texting,
Yeah,
emailing.
so
I'm doing a lot.
Right, you laughing and joking and
Because I'm really doing a lot. And listen, y'all, I'm sorry.
I think it's important. It's important for us for the community to take care of the community. We need us. Drew said it earlier. You know, I've been saying it since
Jabri, whose side are you on?
2017, right? You know, we need us, right? You know, and it's not just a catchphrase. It's an actual. We really need us, right? If we feel as though, you know, the people in power aren't doing the right things, or the people that were in power didn't do the right things, and that system will never work, then we need to construct another system that can work for the people.
No, how about you just keep on letting them do what they doing? Let them go ahead. If they doing what they doing, one thing for sure and two things for certain, if you getting paid to do something that you don't do and somebody else do it, it will be noticed, right? So if you getting paid to write a paper and somebody else writes the paper and hand it in and you didn't, they want to know where did that money go? What did you do with that money?
Who wants to know that?
Somebody who gave you that check wants to know what did you do with the money if you
But
didn't
did the
write
work
the paper?
get done?
I didn't
Because
delegate
we've
it.
been in a city where the work hasn't been getting done for eons.
So the
For
work
eons. The buildings are falling apart. The infrastructure is trashed. Like, everything that's wrong with the city of Chester comes from the lack of caring. And the lack of caring can be dragged back to I say this is a 50, 60-year-old problem. This ain't brand new. This ain't the last 20 years.
I'm only 43, so I'm only worrying about the last 43 years. And to be honest, I'm really only worried about the last 5. I ain't even gonna get
Well, you can't be worried about the last 5 because we have to understand where.
I can be worried about the last 5 because this is my caring period. This is when I feel as though it's the most.
But you have to
important
know
me.
where it started. It's like trying to stop COVID. You have to know where it started to know why people got it and why it exploded. If I sit there and try to fight COVID
sometimes where things started,
it fucking matters.
It's not
It
as
matters.
important.
Now, it's the most important
Can I-
thing how it started.
Sometimes where things started is not as important as to where we are now. So how about we are here today, and the plan from today starts now. We can't go back and change the plan from then.
But we can't
go back and change it.
We have to
Sometimes
understand.
you just gotta tear it down and rebuild
There
it.
is no you said yesterday we just need to fire the
whole administration.
There's no, that doesn't happen.
Oh well.
So then if it don't happen, then you say, oh well, and nothing happens.
No, nothing happens with them. If you do it by yourself, bro, you wanted to start a radio station. You came in with 3 partners. Just because they fell out didn't mean that you fell off. You kept going. You kept doing what you thought was right. You kept doing what you thought was needed. Why do we have to rely on them to keep going? They're here. They get whatever dollars that they get and don't give it to us.
They're
But
in
guess
control.
what we do?
They're in control of the money.
No, they're in control of whatever the state gives for the city. They're not in control of my money. They're not in control of your money. They're not in control of your time. They're not in control of what you choose to do.
They're in control of my money. They told me shut the fuck up. And you see I shut the fuck up.
Put my business on.
Which is sad. It's absolutely sad, bro. It's absolutely sad because I just want people to understand. If you know the radio station, you know I sit on the fence.
This and say everything I could.
I don't pick a side. And for anybody that's out there, right, that's on the side that feels as though I'm shooting at them, I'm not shooting at you. I've asked you to come up here, right? But I've also
But you let other people shoot at them, bro. You let
I let them shoot at whoever they want to shoot at. He came up here and shot at whoever he wanted to shoot at when he was interviewing with you. I didn't cut the interview off.
Who? Which he?
You saying I'm letting? You just said I let people shoot.
No, you said
so.
No,
you just said I let people shoot at them. Did you?
I mean me. You let other people shoot at them. You may not have the gun pointed, but I'm gonna say everything
You're supposed to say. That's your voice.
So the whole thing is.
Oh, I don't silence you.
The whole thing is people may feel like
I don't silence you.
You let her talk about us, but she doesn't talk about them. You understand what I'm saying?
You talk about them. I talk about them. I talk about both people.
I start talking about them.
I talk about both people. Yeah, this is definitely a 50-year problem. Older. It's just really when they broke the treaty. Oh man, listen. God damn it, Drew. Like I swear to God.
Drew, we not going back that far.
But that's I just said go back 50 years to when the shit really started to fall apart. And then you understand why it fell apart. You understand why this political system is the way it is today. You understand why people care. People care about what you care about when they're running, and then once they get in, they care about what they care about what they care about.
No, I don't think that that's true.
You don't think what's true?
They care about what you care about.
You don't think what's true?
That once they get in, they only care about what they care about. I think that you just become exhausted of trying to be the person who's going to save everybody.
So so what do you care about?
So then you just fall in line like a Girl Scout.
So what do you care about?
I fell in line.
You care about yourself, correct?
No, it doesn't become a self-care moment immediately, bro. But it's just like, damn, I done tried so many things.
You keep
so
on
many
trying.
times. I can't. I'm burnt out.
How you burnt out?
So now at this point, I'm honestly just here for the check. I let them make all the decisions.
Oh, that's sad.
Let me tell you something, bro. That's sad. It's completely sad, and all of them going with enthusiasm.
So if you're here for the check, then you only care about yourself. Then you only care about the things that you care
Listen, I barely go over there. Going over there, I probably go to pick up my paycheck. Only reason why I show up at the meetings because it's mandatory for my part-time position.
And that's bullshit.
That's it. I'm just being honest.
No,
they all go in there with that S. Stefan Roos just said the other day, if nobody else can fix it, who can? I didn't know that he really was the Superman that was coming in to be a savior. I didn't know that, and I didn't appreciate him saying it. If nobody else can, who can? That's a major statement like that. Said
now they realize they can't do it. LOL. It's not designed for them
too. And I agree with that.
Why is it not designed for them to win?
It's not about the win. It's not designed for you to save because it's no money in it. And the politicians, it's not just the politicians here that have issues. It's politicians everywhere. They have the same issues. Kenny at a funeral, y'all. He just keep getting. We are on the show. We on air.
I have to answer my phone.
No, you don't. You have to answer at 12.
This is that phone. That's the.
Oh, okay.
That's that phone. They could be calling me, telling me to shut the station down.
Shut it down. Yeah. Break it down. Oh.
They don't want nobody else to hear this sound.
Because
this love is a private affair.
I'm just saying, when people make statements, Dad made a statement that said, if I don't drop crime by 50%, I will step down. And then yelled at me, let me get my 4 years. Give me my 4 years. I'm like, why? You only asked for one. You said 50% in a year. It increased. It damn near doubled in 1 year. Crime is at right now. So I wonder if the Delco thing had shots fired last night because I was laying on my couch and I heard them pop, 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 pop.
Did someone die?
Have no idea, but it wasn't no shots fired. Yeah. Such coincidence.
Willie not go back 50 years because Willie Malik was a man. She was doing things that she had to now for the city to look the best. Now y'all got those city officials in there and they're doing
trying to look their best.
The decrepit Overtown, the business center, did not just get like that the last 12 years. Those buildings been on some shit. That building right there on the corner didn't just get like that the last 12 years.
You know
that
when
building
Overtown,
been on some
hold on,
shit.
you know when Overtown started to change?
When
when that lady said she snatched them permits from Cavanta. Mr. Leonard was on their way out too. Guess she snatched them permits from them too. When that lady said, when them Overtown started to change, Butler was in office. When Overtown started to change, them businesses on 291 started to leave too. So guess what? Times was changing and them folks was leaving, and all them stores over town became empty. Mr. Lee's, what's the name of the one that hello lady, hello gentlemen, they was leaving. They tried to transition their store for the times. The only place that's still original Overtown is that one hair store on the corner. That one hair store on the corner. Now their kids are in there working. That convenience store that sits on the corner by where the people play chess at. That's the only store that has been over town besides Cambridge.
That's the only thing that's not sold in the mall. That's the only thing that's
What's not sold in the mall?
The hair store stuff.
Hair is sold in the mall.
The hair store stuff is sold in the mall.
Sold in the mall.
Now it's sold.
It was sold in the mall 5 years ago, bro. I couldn't believe it. I walked in the mall, it was a hair store.
What store do you walk into the mall and get a hair store like the ones that's out Woodland
right next to
Overtown?
right next to the Target out Springfield Mall.
That's Ultra.
I believe
that's more of a white person's
no,
hair
that's
store.
you talking about the facial care. You talking about Ulta. I'm talking about it's hair sold in the mall. I walked in the store. They had packs of hair, braiding hair, and stuff like that.
Right next door to what?
The Target. It's the store before the Ulta.
Downstairs or upstairs?
I think.
Kimberly Clark. I mean, fucking little Victoria's Secret.
Bro, shut up.
Before Ulta,
we can go to the mall after this.
We can dance around out there.
So Target is here.
And we're going out to the
Then
mall. We're going to go live.
Okay,
and if it ain't there,
let's go.
Right. I want to hear sorry.
And you better not say that that's Victoria's Secret though. Victoria's Secret is before Ulta.
But you said it's before Ulta. Is it after?
Target, the store, Ulta, Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a little.
It's in the corner. That's why. It's in the corner.
That's a little ass store.
But they sell everything in for convenience inside the malls now, and that's 5 years old. But over town, when that transition came through, when people were leaving, big companies was leaving because they saw something else coming. Yeah.
She's right. Yeah, I don't know nothing about no hair.
Yeah,
that's a new store though.
It's not new, bro. I'm telling you, it was like
that's
a little.
That's where you get your hair from?
Hell no.
All right then.
I go to the red store over town.
That store's been there for forever.
What, the red store over town? Right. That was there. But when Overtown started to transition and hello lady, hello gentlemen, and all of them was leaving, Mr. Lee and them down the block was leaving, so was them businesses on 291. You know them permits that was stopped? They was leaving too. I'm just saying. Transition, the reconstruction of the city was happening. Those companies was leaving, and Butler administration was coming in, and all of those companies down there that was down there in that electric company building started a new lease, and they started to make different business deals, and they started to bring multi-million-dollar businesses in here because the businesses that was here under Leak and Barbara Bohannon Shepherd and Pelleggi and all of them didn't want to be here underneath of a black man. And they didn't want to be here underneath of Butler as the mayor. So they started to leave too. The ones that could be salvaged, they were salvaged. Then when Butler and them left, guess what? Those companies left, and now the Democrats have brought in their own companies. And they'll get them a 12-year deal saying they're going to be here for 12 years. That's a 3-term situation for the mayor, and so on and so forth. And that's what happens. Every time we transition to a new administration that made promises to the businesses that they said once they got in office they would keep, then they leave once they leave if the contract isn't the same or as substantial. Plain and simple as that. I'm just saying. Ulta is not next to 2 Ruby Tuesdays either.
Outside it is.
Oh, outside, yeah. So, I'm just saying, that's the way the world goes. If you can't give me the same deal that I once had, I no longer want it. I don't want to be here. I need my contract to cross all T's and I's just exactly as they were before. And if you can't do it, I'm going to leave. So that's what happens. And Overtown was empty for a very long time. Despite the fact that that lady had once brought up half of Overtown, when Mr. Lee and them left, she still couldn't fill the buildings. Then Kenny and them came in and made the Ave again. They made the Ave, they made people want to come over there and open up businesses. They made people want to come in and do things. So many people tried to buy McCory's before DTLR got there, but they had so many rules as to what you had to do with McCory's. They wanted you to tear off the back half and make it into a parking lot. They wanted you to do X, Y, and Z. They wanted you to keep it upstairs and the downstairs. They had different rules, so many people brought it and gave it back. Give my money back. It's not going to work for me. Whatever happened to the city building? Those condos down the waterfront. We ask about stuff that ain't here. I can't give you that answer. But that's absolutely how it goes. If you promise me, Nerds Family Kitchen owner, that once you become the mayor of Chester, I'm gonna give you the finest building on this block. You only gotta pay 2% on your taxes. I'm gonna give you the best deal. Your water bill will be forgiven. This will be done. That'll be done. You don't have to worry about parking. I'm gonna allot you 2 parking spaces out in front of your building. I'm gonna take that contract with you. Now I am now a partner of your administration. Once your administration is done, once your term is up, I'm leaving too. If the next administration doesn't give me exactly what you gave me or better, I'm gonna leave too. Oh, well, we closing down. Yeah, we moving on out Swarthmore, or we moving on out Ridley, or we moving all the way up to
Shout out to
state.
Jackie, man. She got a store out the Concord Mall. You been out there?
I haven't been there yet, but I
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking about that. Right.
Shout out to Jacqueline.
Shout out to
It's
Jacqueline.
called Jacqueline's.
Right,
Called
right,
Jacqueline's.
right,
I told her I'd be down there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but
I ain't been in the Concord Mall since COVID.
for real.
Yeah. 'Cause you know, I used to
Concord
go
Mall
there all
was
the time,
actually
get my
offering
shirts.
a lot of their spaces to black-owned businesses.
Because a lot of the big companies have shut the fuck down.
Yeah, but they were offering it. But they were offering a lot of spaces for a nice fee for black-owned businesses. Now, whether people go in there and
Nobody
try to
going
get
to the mall no more. Everybody realized they can order their stuff off online.
and have it
Right?
delivered to your
True
door.
Religion went to online. They closed all their stores. Right? They all online. Yeah. The one out Christiana Mall and the one in Cherry Hill Mall is closed.
I'm just trying to make outside dope again.
The outside will never be dope again.
It's dope on our block. Come on through.
Nah, I ain't coming through. I ain't got time to be hanging out with you.
You know what? You're so boring.
Shit, hanging out with you during the morning is aggravating enough. Hanging out with you in the evening, oh my god.
Yeah, it's a different me in the evening. You
No,
know that.
I don't
you know
even-
how
I-
you
no.
know how we talk about when they standing in front of you with their suits versus standing in front of you with them sweatsuits on. They two different people, nigga.
They the same motherfucker.
No, they not.
Yeah, they are.
That boy came through in that red sweatsuit. He said, "What's up, nigga?" Listen, they are two different people though. I'm two different people. The more than me.
Anyway, we got some news going on. It's 11 o'clock.
CMPRadio.net. It's the station.
So it's 11 o'clock, and usually I got everything posted up. But I want to talk about Representative Liz Cheney is being punished by the House GOP. She's been ousted from her leadership role as she talks about Trump's election fraud falsehoods. When Trump says that the election was stolen by the Democrats, and she spoke out on that, and they ousted her from her leadership roles, man, which is absolutely sad. How do you feel about that?
How is she being punished for something that everybody is speaking on?
She's branded
Thank you,
herself
Mother.
as an unapologetic conservative. Speaking on the House floor Tuesday night, she delivered a searing indictment of House GOP leaders seeking to expel her from their ranks after she voted to impeach Trump for inciting January 16th's Capitol riot. Listen, she's from Wyoming. She's Representative Liz Cheney. From her House GOP leadership position following her criticism of former President Donald Trump. So they're fighting. The Republican Party is fighting with each other.
I feel nothing for her. She went along with Trump, but now she's going against them. I mean, here we are again. Point proven. When that administration is there, I'm with them. When they not, I'm not. Plain and simple as that. She was with Trump when he was in office because he could take her job.
Oh, she wasn't with Trump. She was been speaking
Sonny
out.
just
She's
said she went along with Trump
been,
until it wasn't beneficial to her. So I'm gonna say that when people are always on your side for as long as you're fighting for them. They are always on your side for as long as you're saying what they want to hear.
Former President Donald Trump, in a series of statements Wednesday as the vote was happening, attacked Cheney with personal insults, following through on his promise since leaving office to inflict revenge on his enemies. Liz Cheney is a bitter, horrible human being, Trump said in a statement following her ouster. She's a warmonger whose family stupidly pushed us into a never-ending Middle Eastern. Oh, shit. You know who she is? You know whose daughter she is?
No.
Dick Cheney? Draining our wealth and depleting our great military, the worst decision in our country's history. I look forward to soon watching her as a paid contributor on CNN or MSDNC.
Well,
Wow. Like, so Dick Cheney, man, he was a leader of the Republican Party for a long time, right? You know, he became the vice president of George Bush's situation, man. This is sad.
they're upset with her because she wants to tell the truth about Donald Trump and his lies at the election was rigged. And they want to get rid of her so they can bring in this other woman. They think this other lady can get them back in the seats in the House.
I personally believe this, and this is where you have to understand, they are siding with the people that vote for them. See, they know, they understand they can't not support Trump when Trump then had all these people up at on January 6th to raid the Capitol building. Trump has tons of people that are willing to back him. And listen, in different states, so they can not vote for him and he'll lose his seat to a person that's running with a Donald Trump is going to turn into his own political party. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a Trumpster.
The Simpsons didn't say this.
It's going to come out when it comes out.
The Simpsons didn't say this, so Trump is not getting back in. That's all the Simpsons is somebody. That's it. Whoever writes the Simpsons headline has to be politically connected. That's how I feel.
House Republicans removed Cheney from the number 3 leadership post via a voice vote. While a secret ballot was expected and was the method used in February when Cheney faced another challenge to her post and prevailed 145 to 61, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy rejected calls for one. Wow, man. They are really they
my neighbors are African American. How about yours?
Huh?
My neighbors.
I don't have no neighbors.
Stop saying that.
I don't. I don't have no neighbors.
You're like, I don't have
no fucking neighbors.
My neighbors are African American. I'm not really concerned about a lot of stuff. And I also have a firearm within my house. Several. I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
I mean, I see what you said, Rob. You said just to keep the racism alive, racist vibe alive. I mean, here's the thing. It never died. It just wasn't exploited in our age range how it is now, and people weren't just as flamboyant with it. That's it. They've already groomed her replacement.
Is her father dead? Is Dick Cheney dead?
I don't want to say yeah because we done put too many people in the grave and then found out they just was old. But
he would be like decrepit. Dead.
Oh, we looking up Dick Cheney, right?
No, he's still alive.
He's still living.
He's definitely still alive.
He 80 years old?
Yeah. I guess he don't have no power no more.
He 80.
Shit, when they get old, they get even ruthless.
Yeah, he 80.
He probably about to get the whole fucking House of Representatives killed. That motherfucker started that fucking war, bro.
I mean,
like literally, like all to make some money.
War is about money. That's proven. I mean, with all of the movies that they're making now to show,
She gonna become the leader of the Republican Party. If she can stand through this fight that's going on right now, if she picks a fight with Donald Trump She's going to be the nominee for the Republican Party.
No.
Shit. They listen to how slick they are. They will create a fight
Yeah.
to make you sit there and then see who wins. Let's see who wins from this fight. If she wins,
So what's more powerful? Women?
women.
Women are more powerful?
Women are more in this country right now. Like that's why men are being feminized and they wearing dresses and they doing all the other shit. Yeah. Y'all run the world. It's more of y'all than there are men. If it's 17-1 on the ratio of men to women, who's going to be more powerful?
So you telling me that a woman can stand up against the Republican racist
Dick
side?
Cheney's daughter, absolutely. All the people that he got in pocket,
She must have been out there hitting baseballs for her living.
nah.
You
All
gotta
the
be a tough. You gotta be a tough broad.
Listen.
I can honestly say, I might be inclined to agree with you, but I don't think they would put her as the head of the Republican Party.
Yeah, she's gonna be who's running. They're already put it. She's a hero, Liz Cheney down, but not out in Wyoming after crossing Trump. She's gonna be the person that's gonna be there. There's no other fight to have. No one else has the balls to step up to it, right? And the Republicans right now are waiting for a leader to step out. Like everybody that was underneath of Trump when he was president, they all underneath of it. So she has to buck out from it and say, nah, fuck it, man, you lying, man. This ain't that. Now, I'm not saying I fuck with the Democrats, but you're not going to sit here and say that our voting system is fucked up to the point where we need to pass new legislation and new laws in states and say, all right, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do when you want to vote if you're not black.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah, she gonna fight with him.
she gonna fight with him.
Yeah, and listen, we already have a African American, a black, so guaranteed we about to get a white female president.
No,
Yeah,
they gave us a shot. They gave us a shot for women being president. Only way we getting a woman president is if Biden check while Cam.
Oh no, when she's done fighting, she's gonna prove that she can do that, because that's their whole thing. How can a woman go to a different country that we're at war with and stand up for the country and the principles, right? You see women, you see them as weak. If she can fight Donald Trump and beat Donald Trump, it's a wrap. She's gonna be the president. Because there's going to be so many women that's going to be like, I'm voting for her just because she's a woman and she's strong and she stood up to Trump and I can't stand Trump. The Republican Party is back.
They were salty because a lot of Republicans voted against Trump. Like, people want the whole Republican Party to be Trump supporters, but this last election that happened, a lot of them voted against him, irregardless to if they changed their party or not. A lot of Republicans that voted for him the first 4 years did not vote for him the second because they did not like how America was looking. They did not like how racism was being displayed. It's one thing to talk about it at your own dinner table, but to talk about it in the supermarket, that's something completely different. You might not like the image of that woman, but that woman is still my customer. You might not like the look of that man, but that man was once my customer. He was an employee of mine, something of the sort. You cannot divide us in this manner where you can blatantly stand in the supermarket and say, this nigger can't stand behind me. Those super white folks was like, we got to get rid of him. Those super white folks, despite the fact that they may have believed in what he believed in and stood for what he stood for, they did not want that displayed. I did not want you to show my true colors. Not this way. Not when I can't get you to come in and cover their shift. Not when I can't get you to come over and cut my grass for the Mexican that's coming to cut my grass for $10 compared to the $50 that the white man is charging. You cannot do this. I let you have it for the first 2 years thinking you was going to tone it down. My money speaks volumes just like yours. They were super surprised. And that's why he's saying he thought that they were still going to back him. Once you destroyed what little bit of trust blacks had or Asians had or Hispanics had with the white community, we can no longer use you because you're not going to cover their shit.
Notice something?
What?
They're running around saying Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Is anybody saying blue lives matter?
Blue lives matter.
Is anybody saying any other all lives matter?
All lives matter. So we had Asian lives matter and black lives matter still.
No, we have Asian lives matter, and there's no.
Well, the only time
front. There's no.
The only time Black Lives Matter is when an officer has taken the life of a black person. That's the only time Black lives honestly matter. That's
And
the
the only time Asian lives matter is when
now,
the
'cause
white
COVID.
motherfuckers running up in there and shooting
saying that
and
they
doing
are
that because they kill each
brought
other.
COVID
Not they
here.
kill you. Kill where you're at. That's just that
well,
simple.
I'm not disputing.
Right.
that.
So if you're Asian, you kill Asian people.
well,
There are
the
Asian people that die every day.
Yeah,
From
there are
murder
white
and
people
all
that-
types of shit.
There are white people that die. We don't hear
White
about it because it's not in our community.
We don't hear about it because they don't talk about it. They keep it fucking silent.
No, it goes on their local news.
They're local. They don't have no local news.
They do.
When do you see an Asian channel news?
We don't watch it.
Right.
It
No,
don't come on
it ain't
our
up there. I
channel.
watch all channels. I watch
You watch the Puerto Rican
Telemundo.
Telemundo. You know what? I'm
What the
done with
fuck?
you.
Damn, they make it so exciting because he said so fast. But no, real shit. You kill where you at.
Listen,
It's just that simple.
that's true. Except for if you're
See, we're heavily policed.
if
We're
you're a police officer.
in L.A. last year. Jay Farrow, who was a comedian on Saturday Night Live, he got approached by the police, told to get that on the ground, spread. They put his knee in his neck and everything. And he was like, "Yo, if y'all go on TV right now, y'all can pull up your phone. I'm Jay Farrow, bro. I'm not no crip. I'm not out here doing nothing." Then he looked it up and said, "Oh, all right, we're sorry." You know what I mean? But
What's his name? Tyler Perry got pulled over around the corner from the station.
we're policed way more than they are. So of course, any little infraction that we have is gonna blow the fuck up, and they don't give a rat's ass, right? They're taught to rattle the cages. You want these animals to act this way. Way back in the 70s when they said, "Where we gonna sell it at?" Man, give it to the niggers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always give it to us, rattle our cages, shake our cages, because what happens is we forget to communicate with, and we're not communicating. So that's why the station is important. That's why communication is important. That's why accountability and transparency is important for our leadership, because we need to know that you're for us. We need to know that you give a rat's ass. So, yeah, but she's definitely going. She's going to run, and she's going to win. That's the only way to defeat Trump is with a woman. You're not going to defeat him with another man. He's going to be able to talk circles around a man.
First of all, he can't talk circles around anybody. That's a lie.
What?
He can't talk
He's a
circles around.
businessman. That's
Nah,
what he does. Like,
he-
he has there's no way he got the millions of dollars without being able to talk in a
No,
confusing
hold on,
way.
hold on.
Circles around a motherfucker.
Hold on. It is a way. I had somebody who could talk. I had the money. You had the words. I don't need to speak.
Who's
I
your
only
partner?
need to speak. It's not a partner.
Well,
It's
you would
who
know
I
him if
hired.
he's not the-
He hired people with the highest IQs, the best business.
To make the plan so he could talk circles around a
No,
motherfucker.
he don't have. He all he gets in there is and says, "I don't like what you said. I don't like what you did. No, that's wrong." That's somebody else telling him that that's wrong. He can't look at the plan and say that on a.
Did he say it?
Did you? If he said it's wrong, he said it's wrong.
Did he
but
say
he
it,
can't.
though?
He can't listen to his speeches. We was like, that's the dumbest shit we ever heard him say.
Nah, did he
I
say
can't
it?
believe he
Did
said it.
Did he say it?
What? That's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to say that part.
So then he can talk circles.
No, he
around.
can't, bro.
I don't care. Listen,
I can't
listen.
have a conversation with Trump.
I'm
I'm
gonna sit here and say,
"What you talking about?"
Obama had the best speech writer ever, and you will sit here and say, "Oh no, those was Obama's words." No, he got a team of smart motherfuckers behind him too.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
I would not sit there and say they was Obama's words. Everybody know that the speech writers that somebody writes it so that you don't say anything
Right.
not politically
So that's the
correct.
same thing that you
Trump
just said
was
about Trump.
speaking on his own terms even after they wrote the speech for him. They said it was because he couldn't read it.
That might be true.
So
I'm not gonna say you can't read.
well, I'm not gonna say he can't read either, but it was just a joke. Yeah, that wasn't the speech they wrote last night for DT. He read what he wanted to say. He said what he wanted to say. That wasn't what was on that paper. But I don't know, bro. They about the whole racism thing. People, them Republicans, them up north Republicans and those southern Republicans didn't expect for Trump to expose the hand that he exposed, and they can't allow that to happen. Not with the way the world is and the reliance on other race in order for things to be where they are.
Everybody always thought we'll have a race war, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people in those
You
states,
don't think we having a race war?
they're prepared for that. We've been having a race war. We've been fighting just to be realized and recognized. You feel me? To sit here and say, yo, they're real people. They're really a part of the United States, and they've been fighting to make sure everything that we say is null and void. Or you can't ask for reparations, or you'll give a couple motherfuckers a couple of $100, and then we don't need reparations. We wouldn't know what to do with it. It's like the black guy that came up and said, America is not a racist country. And then it's like, yo,
No, the people of America are.
from your core, from your fucking core of your people, everybody here is racist. Everybody here has a problem with somebody because of something that somebody else does.
Isn't that the people?
That's the people.
So we can't blame the country, right?
No,
we don't want to blame the city.
Hold on.
When we say the city,
we
the people of the United States.
We the people. You don't get the.
But listen, but when we say
because the country
Chester
is just
a
land.
bad city,
It's just land.
and then we counteract and say no, the citizens of Chester are bad people, not the city of Chester.
Who says that?
Everybody says it, bro.
I've
It's
never
not the
said that.
city. It's people who live in the city.
I've never said that.
So Chester's a bad city?
I don't think Chester is a bad city. I think Chester is a misunderstood city that is told that it's bad so it can continue to do bad behavior. If you have a bad child and you tell him that he's bad all the fucking time, he's going to keep on doing what he's doing because he's getting the attention that he wants, right? You go into anywhere, you say, oh, that's bad. You shouldn't do that. Like, they've been talking about stop the violence in this city for so many fucking years. Power 99 don't even talk about it no more. They don't even promote it. They just say, yeah, we're doing a summer concert, right? But it's increase the peace. It's stop the violence, increase the peace. But how long have you been doing it and you're not increasing any fucking peace? You're not stopping any fucking violence because now kids are dying more rapidly than they were then. Now people are pulling up and spraying the whole block. You're getting 5 of them now for the one person that was getting hit last.
In Chester or is that
I'm
Philly?
just saying anywhere. In Philly, in Chicago, in LA, in every black hub where there are more black people than there are white people, this is what's going on. Why?
I don't know why. They angry. They tired of living next door to people.
No, they're not angry. They think like this is what I know. This is what my uncles did. This is what my cousins did. I'm trying to be better than my dad. My mom said my dad was a G. I'm trying to be, my dad said he was a G. I'm trying to be like, nigga, for what?
Did you know that Michael B. Jordan was in The Wire?
Yeah, he was a little kid in the wire.
I did not know that. I'm sorry, y'all.
Because he didn't have muscles, so you didn't pay him no mind.
I didn't. He had a big ass nose in there too.
Right. He wasn't in there long.
He was Wallace. Wallace OD'd, I think. I was very sad.
So he said he's not going to name his son Michael C. Jordan. Because his dad was Michael A. Jordan. And he's Michael B. Jordan. He said he's not going to name his son Michael C. Jordan. He told, what's her name that? What's her name? What's the lesbian? What's her name? Ellen.
What? Who?
Ellen.
He told Ellen. Yeah. So Ellen made that a joke. So since you're Michael A. Jordan, your dad is Michael A. Jordan, and now you're Michael B. Jordan. Are you going to name your son Michael C. Jordan? He's like, no. I don't blame him. That was stupid as shit to ask Ellen.
He doesn't want his son to have to live through his name. Right? He wants his son to be his own individual, which I can respect that.
Carmelo Anthony named his son Kyrie, right? Because he didn't want him to be under the middle name like he wants him. Carmelo Anthony's son is coming up though. His game's gonna be nice. He got a jumper out this world, and I think he's only like 13 or 14 years old. He's 14. Carmelo Anthony's son is going to be a nice player. I would love to see him and Bron and them sons go together to play against each other.
Bron is about 17.
Yeah, he could graduate high school.
He graduate, do his 1 year in college, and then come to the league, and then his dad is going to leave and go play with him.
You think so?
Absolutely. LeBron goes where he wants to go.
Well, true, but do you think that he's going to stay around for his son to finish 2 years of college?
You see LeBron retiring in 2 years?
I don't know.
No.
I haven't really watched sports lately.
He's going to go there, win a championship with his son, and then retire. That's how it works.
Interesting.
Look at LeBron and how he's been acting. Unless the Lakers don't make the playoffs and then they draft him. But that's 3 years from now. So who knows?
No, he can get it done in one.
Who?
His son, with college, 1 year of college.
1 year of college, but his dad didn't even go to college, so.
Well, that's when the draft was allowed to take you at 18.
They might go back to that.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But we were supposed to be talking about this Amber Alert.
The
and
Amber Alert.
Co-parenting is the topic of the last half an hour.
CMPRadio.net. It's the station.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
So there was an Amber Alert the other day. Monday. It came back again yesterday, though, because they still hadn't found the child. So there was an Amber Alert of a child taken in New Jersey by her father, and when the call went out for 911, they said that the father had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So whether the father had a gun or not, I have no idea. But I think that that's how people try to control the situation to get their kid back. Now you got this man being pulled over by a cop, and they're anticipating that he's armed and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why parents play that type of game. You're risking his life by saying he has a gun because he took something that also belonged to him. The Amber Alert went off, and it was very, 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 very like loud to me. And I'm reading it, and all I can remember is one day my daughter was 2. She was on the porch, and her dad walked up and took her. I came outside in a frantic, and then someone said, "Oh, no, her dad took her." And I still called the cops. And I called the cops and said that my daughter was kidnapped. She was 2. And the cops was like, "Well, do you have any idea as to who took her?" And they said, "Well, I said, well, they said that it was her dad, but he didn't ask me for permission." And the cop kindly told me he doesn't have to ask you for permission. It's his child, too.
Did you ask him for permission to have the child?
Yeah.
Did you ask him what he wanted to do?
Yeah, he kind of sort of told me what he wanted to do before I made the decision.
He said, have the child.
Yeah.
Right.
I was a kid. So, the child, I called the cops and they told me, they was like, this is a domestic situation. You can't call us because of this. You actually have to go to court to get custody of your kid. So me being me, I went to court and took PFA out on them. Back then, PFAs gave you complete custody of the child, full and sole custody of the child. So it was a win-win for me. However, it was only out of anger and emotional instability that I did this, right? So this mom calling the cops.
You were emotionally unstable?
Damn right. I was a kid, still in love with a grown-ass man.
So
I had no control over what I was doing.
You don't think you're still emotionally unstable?
Not at all.
Okay.
No. I'm just as stable as I want to be. I don't have emotions that often. It has to be about something I really care about, and that's the kids. Oh, it ain't a lot.
It ain't a lot.
No. See, back then.
So that would say that you're emotionally unstable. The fact that you know.
No, that's not emotionally unstable. That's stable. I don't put my heart in
I'm gonna
everything.
look the definition up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got you.
So nonetheless, the cop told me, basically what I had to do. So I only wanted to speak on this topic is because so many women take advantage of the fact of being the custodial parent, the parent that the child lives with, that we do anything to prove that this father is not right. So the dad is on the run. They think he has a gun. He has a kid. What's the outcome of that? They pull him over. They're already under the impression that he has a gun. Their guns are already drawn. What's the chances of him living from that?
It's not very high.
It's not very high. And what's the chances of her not feeling like shit because she called the cops to make sure that they look for her child, he only asked to see his kid. And because you wouldn't let him, he came and took him. He knew his rights. And now instead of you allowing him to just see the kid for a couple of days or a couple of hours, you say he now has a gun and now he's on the run with your child. And the chances of him surviving this being on the run is slim to none.
Unless he goes to the police station and turns himself in.
And they're still looking at him as if he's armed and dangerous. If they have
If he goes to the police station with his hands
up, and the kid, where's the kid at then? The kid is what?
The kid is with the lawyer.
With the lawyer.
The lawyer's coming in after him. See, he has to go in without the kid, turn himself in, listen, they looking for me, Amber Alert. When the baby's outside, I'm turning myself in, give me the cuffs, put them on.
If he does not
do
die
that,
in the streets.
he will definitely die.
In front of the kid.
In front of the kid.
That's a hard job. Like, why are people so selfish and so inconsiderate of the other parent?
Well, we don't know the whole story behind the mom, the dad, their relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I can't, I never try to put all the blame on, but we can speculate, right? Or we can remove it and just say in a situation where the father is not around and the mother takes full custody of the child, in her mind she has full custody, and the dad says, I want to see my daughter, and he pulls up and, he's like, I'm going to take her for a ride, I'll be back, a little bit later. And she gets mad because he doesn't come back when he says he's going to come back, and then calls the police and says his daughter. Once he sees the Amber Alert, I'm not going back. And then she said he got a gun. She know what he into.
Mm-hmm. And it says it on the Amber Alert.
You feel me? It definitely says it on the Amber. I didn't get it on my phone. I think I turned the Amber Alert stuff off.
You probably did. Let me see if it'll still come up.
You feel me? I think I turned it off. But, it's malicious for a mother to do that. Now I'm just saying if she decided to do that.
Amber Alert, China paying China paying black female infant suspect Damian Payne, 27-year-old black male driving a 2016 white Nissan Altima, Virginia plates, last seen on East Orange, New Jersey. Suspect is armed with a gun.
So he's all the way in Jersey, East Orange, New Jersey, and everybody they don't know what East Orange, New Jersey is. That's like you could spit in New York, East Orange, New Jersey, right? So that's the upper northern part of New Jersey.
I think it's such a shame that we can't have that type of relationship. Like I know, I just had a conversation with my oldest daughter the other day, and like she finally had a partial conversation with her father, and instead of him taking accountability for his part and not being in her life, he kept placing blame. And my daughter said, "You knew my mom. You don't know my mom. My mom may have done some things before I was 5, but after that, she gave you the opportunity to be everything that you could be to me. You chose not to."
But that's 5 years. Like that's five years of you calling the cops.
No. I only called the cops once.
5 years
was
of
called on me.
Taking him to court and getting the PFA on him.
Nope.
You get the PFA?
That still was when she was 2.
That's 5 years though.
No, but the PFA was.
She
only
said when
good.
I was 5 years old.
She said anything that happened after 5.
Yeah, but everything that he happened before 5,
It was still
he
when
remembers.
she was 2.
But he remembers.
I don't care. We still had conversations after that.
You're saying you don't care.
No, so
you can't say you don't care
hold
if
on.
he's saying.
So after
if he's
the
saying
PFA was lifted,
from the time the child was born up until 2 years old, right? We were supposed to.
he was in jail.
I was in jail.
And then he came home.
I came home. I grabbed my daughter. I came to the house. I grabbed her, and she called the cops on me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you grabbed her without telling.
Then, do you know how a man fit? So,
I don't care.
what do you think is the worst situation for your son to deal with on a daily, like the worst in every situation, the worst situation for him to deal with on a daily basis? Just on any given day, not on a daily basis. Like, going to court is the scariest fucking thing for.
I'm like, what?
It's the scariest fucking thing for any black man because guess what? You're walking in there and the defense attorney don't give a rat's ass about you. He's just there for the check. The prosecutor trying to send you to jail so he can hurry up and become a district a DA, right? And the judge is trying to get reelected so he can't be harsh on anything. So you're walking in there and you have nobody by your side except for the people that walked in there with you. Now we're gonna turn this into a custody situation. Now he walking in there and the woman that he slept with for a year, or the woman that he felt like he loved, and he might not have loved, you feel me? Not you, but I'm just saying.
No, I was going to say it was a girl in my case. I was a girl. I was 15.
But you slept with him, and you enjoyed it.
I have no idea, but I'm going to assume that it was a yes. I was a kid. I didn't know any better.
So as a man, when you take us to court, you're putting us up against a system that's already against us. And I get it. A lot of females, they don't have no other choice. For the men that aren't there, the men that don't do, I understand that wholly. But understand what you're putting a brother through after he done already been in there and then went to jail. He done went to jail. He done got convicted. Now he coming home. Now he got a PFA. Now he dealing with all these court cases. Just instantaneously, his head flips. And I get it now. If it's hard for you to, it's very hard for you to understand it because you're not a man. But, you know, you have mannish attributes about the way you handle shit. You feel me? Put your hand up.
Just called me a bull.
Put your hand up like this. The other one. The other one.
Come on.
Right. See, you have, and you handle shit like that. But for a man walking in the court, it's the scariest fucking thing in his fuck. There is nothing scarier than that. I don't have no control over what's about to happen to me. No control. And then the woman that I claim to love or that loved me at one point, you were a girl, so that's different. But for the rest of the men that are in this situation,
He's taking shots at me.
I'm not taking shots. I'm just saying that's what you said. You said I was a girl.
No, because I wasn't a woman.
Right.
So I didn't know any better. You
That's
gotta understand
scary.
from 15
That's
to
absolutely
18
scary,
years
bro.
of age, I'm still a child. I should have been still out playing basketball, jumping rope,
Right.
shit like that. Instead, I'm
You
raising
jumping
the
rope.
child. Shut up. So instead, I'm raising the child. But here's the thing, and I can honestly say, I have admitted have admitted my faults, but I would have never called the cops and said he had a gun. So I don't sugarcoat shit from my kids. Right. And I've stated one time, the one thing I would never tell my children's father he couldn't do is see his kids. Shit.
He in East Orange, New Jersey. There's no way he don't have a gun.
No, that might not be true. He has Virginia plates. So either he
has
a rental or he drove up to see a child that when he got here, you acted like a fucking nut. I've done that. I'm gonna tell you, before I turned 20 years old, it was nothing you could tell me about my kids. Nothing. They're mine. I had them. I'm raising them. You're not doing anything. Me not giving you the opportunity to. It took a lot of growth. She didn't get her in my house. What, Mom?
You didn't get pregnant in your mom's house.
Oh, Mom, you know what? Go ahead. I didn't. I did. But still. But like you couldn't like women don't want I had the conversation. I said, I have to admit where I went wrong in raising my oldest daughter as to why she doesn't have a relationship with her father now. And now the relationship can be formed with y'all, not with me. So I no longer have anything to do with it.
For that to happen, the father has to start over, and it's hard. It's absolutely...
Hold on. Let's be clear. Right. We haven't had 27 bad years.
Right.
We've had good years where I can pick up the phone and call him because he has an HVAC business and say, hey, can you come look at my air conditioning unit? Right. If you hate me, you're not coming, even if there's a check involved. No, you're not. If you hate me, you're not. I've invited you to things for this child, but once I moved on, you assumed that I still was the childlike-minded person that I once was. You didn't let my change be displayed as something that you needed to see too. I needed to change. The moment I no longer cared about you, I looked at you as if you were just a man, not even as her father. Because you had to realize that you're her father. I know who her father is. You had to step up. So having a conversation with my daughter, she like, yeah, because he was trying to tell me. And I said, tell him if he wants to know, if he wants to have this conversation, we can. But he don't really want to have this conversation. Because I didn't block him from being a dad. When we finally went back to court, now mind you, the PFA only lasted a year. It was 6 months to a year. They gave us a year. So it only lasted a year. It didn't say you couldn't stay away, you had to stay away from your kids or nothing. Honestly, it just gave me full custody. So when it was all said and done, after the year was up, if you felt like I kept you from her, here go your opportunity. Come back and come see her. I will call you, hey, listen, she got a gift for your daughter for her birthday. You gonna come pick it up? I was never one of those parents after I grew and matured. After I realized how important it is to have two parents instead of just the one that you live in a house with. And then time went on and she would see him on her own and he still wouldn't treat her as if she was his daughter. And then one day he shows up and he wants to cry. Cause you my daughter, I love you just like I love the rest of my kids. And she said, you had a funny way of showing it. Cause now she has a voice of her own. She can open her mouth and say, I didn't feel like I was your daughter forever. Yeah, my mom did what she did, but once my mom grew up, my mom knew better.
Did you call him and tell him you grew up?
I will say something. Hold on. Guess I called him and told him I grew up.
Did you call him and tell him how bad you wanted him to be a part of your daughter's life?
I said, listen, we went to court. She was 12.
Right.
The court sent this notification saying we had to come back to court. He was supposed to pay $62 every 2 weeks. He never paid it. So the court tells us we got to come back to court. And I'm like, for what? My daughter is 12 years old. She's 6 years from 18. There's no need of us coming back here. And so we get in there, and he acts like a fucking nut. He tells me I need help with raising my other kids, so this is why he's back in court. And I'm thinking, nigga, I got the same notice as you did. So as we're leaving out, after they granted me damn near $1,000 a month for the one child, I laughed at him and said, guess you got to make the decisions now. You going to pay that truck note or your rent, or you going to pay for this child support, or you going to jail. Because I didn't want to be there. You wasted my time by agreeing to come to court. You wanted an in-person hearing. You could have continued not to pay the $62. By now, your bill, your arrears is through the roof. It's damn near $60,000, $70,000. And you're not understanding why. So for like another 6 months, he wasn't paying. He went to jail 3 times in 6 months and had to pay $2,500 each time to get out. He would rather go to jail than to financially support his child. And I sat her down and I said, hey, listen, we got to go back to court. What do you want me to do? I can drop this child support and see if he's going to be your dad and be there for you, or I can continue and he can just continue to go to jail. She said, you can drop it. Before court started, I dropped the child support and I walked out. I went to the window, told the lady what I was there for, and I said, I just want to sign the paperwork to drop the support order. Dropped the support order and left. That's 12 years old. She turned 16, she turned 18, the nigga wasn't there. It's not my fault. At some point in time, you gotta be man enough and adult enough to turn around and say, I want to be her father. You wanted to be her father when I was 15?
But he was hurt.
Good boy.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and speak for him. I can't do that. That's why it's all them sorries in my phone. Because I never want to be away from my kids for too long.
Right.
And you know, I had a situation where I spazzed out on the kids, right, because their mom said something that I felt like was inappropriate for how we were supposed to be raising our kids. I get it. You can be mad at me, right? You can hate my guts, right? But don't give that energy to my kids. So once you gave that energy to my kids, I felt like, all right, so now this is what goes on in the house. And I just heard it by happenstance. You know, I wasn't, so you're talking to the kids about how you feel about what I'm dealing with. And I don't do that to my kids, right? So that hurt me. That pissed me off. I called up and I was all types of bitches and pussies and every fucking thing else. But I blocked her.
Can't be comfortable without my kids. That's a mom though,
Right.
too, Rob. A mom can't. I can't be comfortable.
I can't. So I blocked her. And then I said something. Then my daughter got upset. Then they stopped talking to me. And you know, I sat in here for the whole weekend and my kids didn't reach out to me. And that shit hurt me. Now my son was still reaching out to me. He's like, Dad, you cool? Everything good? I love you. It was real quick because he didn't want to get in trouble. And I'm like, yo, but you know, that fuck with me. And I text my daughter and I told her, I said, listen, I'm sorry for the way I came at you, but understand how I feel. As a man that has risked his life since you were a baby on taking care of you, right? For your mother to have that conversation with you, that didn't need to happen. And she was like, you know what? I understand what you're saying. I get it. I love you, Dad. I love you too, Princess. Now, Pilar was somebody different, right? Because I called her and I spazzed on her because it was her phone that answered. And I thought she answered. I didn't know what happened. And so she was like, but do you call me and you call everybody else? I said, well, you know, I love you. Like, out of everybody, you know you're my favorite, right? You know, I can say that to her because me and her had a connection. I became like I was her father, but I became like her father while she was a baby. Her mom was going through postpartum. You feel me? Like, she was with me every day. And we didn't have to talk to know what she wanted, right? She just look at me, raise her head like that. I go to the store, we'll get some chips and hang out. And I thought she was going to be a dyke, right? I did. You feel me? And I was okay with that. You feel me? Until she got this boyfriend. And I was like, huh? You feel me? And, you know, she ended up, you know, liking boys. And I like that. That's cool. I don't have a problem with that.
Honestly,
I thought she was because she was real rough. She was always defending her sister. You know, so, and you shouldn't put your kids in the middle of a fight. I agree with that. And now I understand why, because if you love your kids, you're going to miss your kids. I can fight with the mom all day. She's on block. She can't call me. And I don't have nothing to say to her. If I want to talk to her, tell your mom, ask your mom if this is going down like this
and that's it.
And that's it.
But that's still putting the kid in the middle, though. But at some point in time, see, this is why I say I was emotionally unstable when I was that age, because I couldn't have a conversation with him without me becoming angry. I couldn't have a conversation. I asked him, could he buy a pair of white sneakers? The nigga brought me a pair of white, blue, and pink sneakers, and I was mad. Like, and he still brought sneakers. But I was so angry that he didn't get what I told him to get that I really, like, spazzed out. And it wasn't until I was 22 years old when I became a mother and not just a mom. It wasn't until then that I said, damn, I can't believe I really spazzed over a pair of sneakers that he still brought. He could have came with nothing and said they didn't have any all white sneakers. Right. He still came with something. My understanding level wasn't that high. Even when I was 22, I still was laughing like, girl, you was retarded as shit. But it wasn't like, damn, you might really want to open up your heart and apologize because you have blocked a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
But I took accountability for my shit. And then after that, it was like, okay, if he calls, I made her call him on his birthday. I made her call him on Father's Day. I made her get him a card. Not make, but I insisted and things like that. And it wasn't until she was like 16 years old, she's like, I'm not calling him. My birthday was in August. He ain't called me. And she started to realize, like, my mom is really making me be your daughter, but you're not being my father. It took took me a while to understand how I'm having conversations with her like she my sister opposed to being my daughter and telling her like, listen, everybody don't have the same mindset and heart as we do. So they don't come how you expect them to. And she like, oh, okay, well, and she has this whole nonchalant attitude when you speak about him. And now she has a great relationship with his brother. And her and him have like this relationship with one another like they siblings. They laugh, they joke, they ride out together the whole nine. The family don't like it though. They don't like the fact that they have a great relationship. How are you so close with him and you're not close with your dad? Well, he stepped up and decided that he wanted to be a part of my life as much as I want to be a part of his. My father has not done that yet. So I just grew. I was older. I realized the importance of a father and child relationship, and I stopped blocking it. I say it all the time about Baby G. That's my guy. You understand what I'm saying? Worst argument we ever had was over socks. I asked for black. He brought gray. It was weird. I said something. He said, "Well, sue me then." When we got to court, he said, "It's for her. It's not for my son." I'm mad now. Walking out, I can't believe you, baby, come here and embarrass me in front of these people. You said you. And after that, we don't have misunderstandings. If he don't like what I say, he'll say, "Hey, I ain't like that." If I don't like what he said, "Hey, I don't like that." And we don't have to talk to one another to still remain friends and still be parents. Right. And even with our child being an adult, we have great conversations about still how to raise our child as an adult.
Absolutely.
And it took a while for me to understand that this is how parenting goes. You have to actually say, "Hey, listen, such and such got this going on," and invite them with open arms. And not be mad like, "He ain't coming here with that bitch." Honey, bring her with you. Let her come on over, because one of these days, her and I are going to sit down and have a conversation that's going to be about you. I'm not one of those moms who make up stories about their dad, their father, just so that I can look like a better parent. That lady saying that man had a gun, you jeopardize the life of him and your child.
And your child. They can shoot into the car.
Yes, and all because you're mad and
she's an infant,
emotionally
though.
attached
She's
too.
an infant. She's an infant.
An infant in the car seat, and we hope that he had a car seat in the car.
He had a car seat.
We don't know that.
He had a car
seat. You know how many times I pulled off with a baby in my arms, driving with it on his lap?
And you know how many times I've pulled off with a baby in a car seat? Every time I pulled off.
Now.
I buy the base automatically.
Now.
Ever since, listen, I have been.
Back then we ain't even need car seats.
Shit.
Taylor,
listen, when they let Taylor go, there was a base in my car and a base in Jalila's car, right? From the hospital.
So every time the kid has gotten in the car, you have gotten in with a car seat. Every time.
As long as they're under one. Once they hit over one and they don't need the support and all that other shit no more, they do whatever they want in a car.
They supposed to have a car seat till they 5, bro.
Well, then 5.
I'm just saying.
If they walking and they talking, they don't need the car seat no more.
Oh my God.
They can pull up on me and say, "Yo, what's up? Where we going?"
DJ had a car seat till he was 3.
Hop on there.
The twins had a car seat till they was 3.
Right.
3 years old was my limit. Like as far as car seats.
Zaria had a car seat till she was about 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's about right.
5. Right.
I don't know. I just look at it like this. I'm not one of those moms, and I don't want my children to be one of those moms. So, my daughters, I don't want them to be one of those moms. My son has 2 children, and his relationship with his baby mom or his children's mother is not. Teef's is not 100% great, but they have a great understanding as to how they're going to raise these kids. Bubba, his is listen. Todd don't argue with him. He don't argue with Todd. They good. That's how I feel. Oh, it's a multiple choice one or 5, huh? I'm just saying. But it's like you can't be one of those parents who think you're in control of the whole parental expectation with the child. You can't bash the dad or bash the mom in front of the kid and think that the kid is not going to be affected by it. That girl jeopardized the life of that child, her child, by saying that boy had a gun. And now you're risking the fact that you don't want your child to have a father at all. Like you really told the police department of today, the Boys in Blue, that this man is riding around with a gun. He's already armed and dangerous. Every Amber Alert that's still going off is still saying this man still has a gun. They never once said he no longer has a gun. He said he's going to return the kid nothing. They're still going to arrest him even if he returns the kid.
Even if he returns the kid. So now he has kidnapping, right? Reckless endangerment, disorderly conduct, all the little charges they can give you. But
fleeing and eluding. Because now you on the run. Like, come on.
Right. But
Parents
we don't know the situation. He could have pulled up and did the absolute worst possible thing, smacked the mom with the gun, took the baby, threatened the aunts, and all that other. I'm just saying.
Smack the mom with the gun?
To know that he has a gun, somebody had to get hit with a gun.
Or to say that he has a gun.
Right. Somebody had to have been threatened with a gun, right? That's the worst. But then on the other side of the fence, you know, he could just be trying to see his daughter.
That's it.
Right? And the mom could be a total, absolute biatch. And she could be making his life miserable. Understand, like I said,
there's a lot of that going
on. I'm not scared of media or the courthouse, right? I was. I think from age 17 to like 28, I was scared of the courthouse because I knew what it could do. And then once I went upstate and I started studying the law library and I started reading shit, and I'm like, just in case, I just want to, brush up on my shit, right? I ain't had nothing else better to do. And then I got to understand that the books that are written by men. The laws are man-made, right? And literally, if you were created by the same God that created me, then I'm not scared of you. I don't have any fear for you. So why should I be scared of these laws? Why should I be scared of this courthouse? So I don't have a problem with walking in the courthouse now. If I had any charges, I'd be like, all right, listen, this is what I got. You know what I mean? Let me take that, and I wouldn't worry about it. But even if I had to go in there for child support, I just want to see my child. If you're keeping my child away from me, like Naf always tell me, bro, just go, file. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. You feel me? Because I don't know how she feels about court, right? She could have the same fears that I have. So, or had. So, for me, it's just about communication, talking, right? If that level of communication is high, then it should be high in the way you talk to your children. It should be high in the way you talk to your baby moms. You should communicate with her and talk to her and ask her questions, and she should ask you questions. And a lot of females feel some, like, you got, like, for me, I got 7 kids, and I'd be like, yo, you got to tell me when. You should know. Well, I have to worry
Only way you know what a child needs is if you've ever lived in a house with them.
Even if you've lived in a house with a child, right, you if you're a provider, you're providing. Like we go back to the old man, right? He went to work, he came home, he gave a checkup, he laid the fuck down.
Okay.
That's how I was, right? I went outside, I gave the money up, I laid the fuck down. I played with my kids. If they needed something, the kids came to me and said, yo, Dad, can we, all right, come on, we out. You know what I'm saying? We'll go to the mall. We'll go get everything you need. So you have to tell me. That's where I am. Not personally. There's a lot of men that aren't like that, right? But there are men that are like that. There are men that are fucking worse. Like every situation you have, I'm the man that you need to call me on the phone and say, yo, listen, I need you to grab, and I'm gonna go grab it. But
you know what I don't like is the call on the phone that I need and it say you gotta give me till Friday. Give me a couple. I don't like that.
I mean, that's what he can do. So
if you needed it for the child that was in your home, would that wait till Friday? That was my oldest daughter father. He would always be like, give me a couple days for anything that I asked for. And then even still then I would be like, okay, if he got it, he got it. If he didn't, he didn't. 9 times out of 10, if he didn't get it that day and I know I needed it tomorrow, I went and got it myself.
Why you calling him the day before you need something?
Because it probably just came up. You understand what I'm saying?
What just came up?
So for instance, she was going on a field trip.
Right.
And she never brought the paperwork home for the field trip. She never brought it. It was still in her desk.
Right.
So when the teacher cleared the desk out, she sent a note and says, Mom, I need this filled out today and sent back tomorrow. So she was in like the 4th or 5th grade at the time.
Well, you ain't going.
So no, she really wanted to go, and she earned it.
You would have really brought your slip home.
So I said to him, I said, "Hey, listen, she wants to go on the trip.
No, that's not cool.
Can you give her the $50?
That's not cool.
He said I can give it to her on Friday.
That's not cool now.
It is cool.
It is not.
If I can make adjustments, so can you. Huh? That's how people see it. If I can make adjustments, so can you. If I can make arrangements, and I'm not asking you for $100.
What if he live in check to check and he really don't have $50?
If I can make arrangements. And I'm not asking for hundreds of dollars.
He has to ask someone else for the $50?
Give me the $50.
He has to go ask someone else?
Give me the $50.
Stop. Hold on.
You going to answer the own question. I said give me the $50.
I don't have it right now.
Then that's why we have issues. Because I expected for you to have it when I didn't.
I don't have it.
Okay.
How you want to call me the day before she goes? Like, what's up with that?
Give me the $50.
No, that's a lack of communication. You can't call somebody up and
I
just
don't talk to you
demand
every day.
$50. Did he
I'm
call?
only
Did
asking
he
you for
call you up and
$50.
say, "Give me the pussy"? And you just gave it up?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's just stupidity.
I was a child. That was stupidity. Mhm. But nonetheless, that's how most people see their relationships. Most people aren't mad at you because of who you are. They're mad at what you can't do. They are mad because you don't make the sacrifices like they do.
I can't make the same sacrifices. And mothers make so many
great
sacrifices. You are
The
absolutely
greatest sacrifice a mom makes is not getting her hair and nails done so that the kid can have something.
bullshit.
I'm a woman, I'm telling you.
That's what you're saying, right? But I see people. Anyway,
What's their greatest sacrifice?
the greatest,
not getting their
greatest
hair and
sacrifice
nails
is
done.
time. Greatest sacrifice is time.
Okay.
The time that you are giving up to nurture your child. Listen, I get it.
The time is not the greatest sacrifice. I live in the house with this child. They're getting the same exact thing. Even if I didn't have a child, I still would be in this house. I still would be doing the same exact thing that I'm doing now, 9 times out of 10, because I'm not the person who runs the street. So the greatest sacrifice that a woman makes in my eyes is not getting her hair and nails done so a kid can have something. I would take care of myself so that you can have.
What about to the women that don't apply to, the ones that get their hair and their nails done regardless, and their kids still have shit?
So
their greatest sacrifice, that's not their greatest sacrifice. Their greatest sacrifice will be the time that they spend with the child. Like, I'm always watch the baby. Like, I love my kids, bro. Like,
let me tell you, that's BS right there. It's time because you signed up for that on day one.
But
I never expected for no one to take my kid out of my presence.
Oh my God!
It's not about the time I want you to spend with your child, absolutely, but I'm not sacrificing time because it's something that I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be with this child. I knew how this was going to go, so I'm not expecting anything else. So at the end of the day, like, my greatest sacrifice is when I can't buy something for myself because I absolutely have to pay something for my child. That's my greatest sacrifice. My time that I'm giving to my child is not a sacrifice to me. And that's just how I feel. But most people don't see it that way. If I say I want a new pair of sneakers, but I know them kids in these sneakers, I'm not getting the sneakers. That's my sacrifice right there. Well, I couldn't get the fucking sneakers, but they look good. That's how I see it. But everybody don't see it that way. I don't know. It's not time. I think the father sacrifices time if he's not in the household.
And I don't have a problem with it.
Keep saying I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with whatever. And that's my thing. Whatever you want. I'm tired of arguing, bro. I have literally been arguing
whatever they want no more
for the last 7 years. Like, I have expeded my like, I'm going bald. I got gray hair, right?
So why do you think you've been arguing for the last 7 years?
Because I wasn't right. I wasn't right. I was.
So you're taking accountability.
I have to. I mean, no one else is going to take accountability. Like, no one else is going to be like.
When do they start to accept your accountability?
They don't have to. They don't never have to accept it.
They don't never have to accept it.
I don't. It doesn't.
You know when they start to accept it?
When I'm gone.
When they're no longer emotionally attached to you. Then they'll say, "Damn, he was doing X, Y, Z." I had to sit down and have that conversation with myself. Like, damn, well, he did try to do this when she was 2, when she was 3. He was trying to, build this and build that. But I had to sit down and have that conversation with myself. I had a child come to me, not a child, they're now a young adult, come to me and ask me about the relationship between them and their parent. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, ooh, baby, that's some conversation you got to have with them. Because from the outside looking in, I heard the dad say you could drop her off or him off at my mom's house and I'll get him from there. Right. But they were so, oh, you can't deal with me. No, I can't. But instead of them just saying, I can't, they like, man, listen, you going to drop him off or you're not. And it was just like, it tainted the relationship. If I was given the option, my oldest daughter's grandfather would come and get her. He would come and get her, and the grandmama and them still wouldn't see her. He would come spend time with her, take pictures with her, all kinds of stuff without the other grandkids. But he still made sure he had a great presence in her life. If that dad would have said, you can drop her off down my mom's house or down my grandma's house, I would drop her off with joy and walked away. Now, But then, as a child, when I was emotionally attached to him and unstable, I wouldn't have did that.
Wouldn't have did that at all.
Either you want to deal with me, I'm her mom, you screwed me, with a better choice of words now. You didn't screw them.
Well, so what?
Maturity and growth.
I don't think it's all that, because maybe it is. Maybe you're right. Because my thing is, if I don't want to see you because of the way you talk to me, and I don't want to be around you because of the way you address me, then give me my space and let me see my child, right? Because my child doesn't have those feelings that you have for me. When she sees me, she smiles. You feel me? Like, you don't smile when you see me. There's no love in this interaction that we have between each other. And that's cool. I'm okay.
It doesn't mean that I don't love you, though.
But
it just means that right now I'm angry because you didn't keep your side of the commitment I thought we had.
I kept my side.
You say you kept your side.
I kept my
but
side.
The way I view it is different.
Right, because you're viewing it from your skewed ass way of looking at life. So you're like, no, I kept my side. If I've always asked you to be respectful in the way you address me and talk to me, and you can't do that, then you didn't keep your side.
See, I'm a reciprocator, so I'm going to give you exactly what you give me. If you give me nice conversation, I'll give you nice conversation. The moment you slip up and say the word bitch, we'll never go back to nice conversation. The moment you sit up, man, you a nut ass bitch. Oh, so is your mother. But we were talking about getting socks for the kids, so let's get the socks for the kids. We'll never go back to nice conversation. It's no do-over. Because if you did it once, you'll do it again. So I'm going to show you how you should handle your next situation. But if we're emotionally, man, I talk about your grandma, I talk about your dad, I talk about your cousin with one leg.
All them people.
What? Wish you would. Call who you want to call.
You are the devil, Nafati. But no, it's real to have these conversations, right? Co-parenting is important in our culture. I think a lot of the problems that plague our community stem from parents that don't get along, and then their children don't get along with the parents, and the son's picking the mom's side, or the daughter's taking the mom's side or the dad's side, and then they're fighting, and it continues on. It just continues on, and then nobody's talking, and then it's just so. I have 4 baby moms, and in those 4, I love all 4 of them the same way, right? I appreciate the mothers that they are to their children. I appreciate what they sacrifice to be mothers to their children. But I say, listen, I can't be in 4 different situations at the same motherfucking time.
At one point in time, you thought you could. But
Huh?
go ahead. I said at one point in time, you thought you could. But
At
go
one
ahead.
point in time, I never, ever thought I would be here, right? I got married at 23 years old because I didn't want to have kids every fucking way, and I said that, right? And then I realized that, my life and the way that I was playing it didn't fit, right? And then you end up with the kids you have. And now, since starting a radio station, I went 6 years without having any children, right? And I thought that person that I was with was that person. And then come to find out, like, they don't have no respect. So they don't respect what I'm doing now. It's just like the administration. They don't respect what I'm doing now or how I'm doing it. And so you're going to make your way into tearing that apart, and I can't let that happen.
So here's the thing. With that whole word of respect, people respect what you respect.
No way.
Hold on. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
People respect what you respect, right? So the moment you give someone leeway, they take it for what's being done at the moment. So if you are, like I just said, damn, bro, we doing a show, you keep answering the phone. I'm going to continue to call you when you're doing a show because you continue to answer while you're doing the show. If you say, I want to pick my daughter up at 12 o'clock and I want to drop her off at 2, but she doesn't have her ready until 12:15 and you still stay there and wait, I'm going to continue to prolong until you stand stern on what you said.
And then when you stop waiting, then you're wrong for that.
No, you're not. I said I have from 12 to 2. I have to go pick up somebody else at 12:15 or 12:30, so I have to go. You're gonna be respectful and have her ready. It's how people allow other people to dictate what goes on with them and their acceptance of it that then makes them look at you with disrespect. I can say whatever I want to this nigga. You know what my favorite line used to be? Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to say about that nigga. If my daughter don't tell me don't say it, I'm gonna continue to say it. But I was such a child. With a child like mine, that's how I thought life was supposed to go. I didn't know I was supposed to show him respect despite how I felt about him, especially in front of my child. So when I be like, man, fuck that nigga and his drip ass mother. She had a jerry curl. People didn't understand, like, damn, you just gonna say that? Yup, and ain't nobody gonna change my mind about what I say unless it's my daughter, because that's what came from him, not them. That's how I felt. But it wasn't until I got old enough and I'm like, damn, I should have never said none of that. Now I know, because the relationship between him and her was way more important than the feelings that I had for him at the time.
But you didn't realize that when she was a baby.
I didn't realize that until she was 5. And I realized that I now have another child, and she doesn't have a father in her life. Not my second child, the first one. She doesn't have her father in her life. And then it went on and on. And as time went on, and I don't care if Baby G was showing up for Bubba or whatever, their dad still was showing up. Hers wasn't.
Right.
Their dad was coming and saying, hey, listen, this is for Easter. Hers wasn't. Christmas. Hers wasn't. Summer clothes. Baby G would come drop off bags of clothes, and her dad wasn't coming. Damn. It wasn't until I realized, I'm like, damn, like this nigga still ain't got over this shit yet. That's how I started to feel. But still, it was still the amount of disrespect that I had already given that we didn't have that conversation yet. So once we sat and I'm like, yo, let's talk. Not let's talk, but like stuff.
Let's have a conversation.
You know, it wasn't that. And it was like, I'm grown now. Like, that's your daughter. I'm still grown. Like, what? Now what? And he like,
how was that? That's not a conversation.
It was a conversation.
No, it wasn't. If you could say anything to him right now, what would that be? Like, after everything that you've experienced, everything that you've seen, and everything that you see about your daughter, what would that be?
The beginning was my fault. It was absolutely my fault.
Wow, accountability.
I took that, though. Everything that you and I went through was solely because of me. Right. But what you and her went through, that's on you. Right, absolutely. And I said that to him. Like, however your relationship pans out from here on out.
But see, you can't say you don't care, right? You know, you have.
No, I didn't even finish.
Because you said, however your relationship pans out from here on out, it's because of you. But guess what?
I have absolutely nothing to do
with it. No, you can't say that either because there's an action required. There's an action step required in your accountability, right?
What's the action?
And the action step is just making sure that your daughter understands that he wasn't a bad guy, right? And like I said, it's hard for females to pass that message on to their daughters or their sons when the father isn't there because of the way the mom acted.
No, I've
had baby moms call me and tell me whatever the fuck they want to tell me because I feel like that's what's on your mind. And I'll get to you later. You remember that one day when right?
We ain't gonna relive that day. Right. We are not gonna bring it up. That day was a bad day.
It was a bad day, but it's
I was scared to talk. I was like,
right, oh shit. Hold on, y'all. He getting beat up. On the phone. But you know, I don't see a female as a punching bag. I don't see a female as someone I have to talk to disrespectfully. I say if I laid with you and I shared myself with you for us to create a child, then I love you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I might not love the way it went down, right? But, you know, now that we have children together, I love you and I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do to make sure my children are great. So I can't be disrespectful to the point where they say what the fuck they want, right? And they talk the way they want. And it's like, all right, well, if you feel like if that's the way you want to communicate, I just won't communicate with you, right? And then I become, oh, you can't call your kids? No, they live with you. And if you want me to talk to them, you should call me on the phone. Because if I call your phone, you're going to spaz and say something crazy.
I had a man, I asked him, like, you know, why don't you have a relationship with your kids? And this was like fresh in a breakup. And his reply was, their mom has such a hold on me that I can't go around her. And I said, what does that mean? He's like, I can't resist her. Like, in order for me to get past her, I'm not going to be able to deal with my kids. And sometimes you really have to give a person that time that they honestly need. When he said that, I'm like, wow, that's hard. So because you love her in a certain way, you're going to not be there for your kids? He said, listen, I'll send a check. But until I realize that she doesn't control my life and I'll be able to stand on my own with this, I can't go around her.
Yeah, that's hard.
And I'm like,
once I leave, I don't care. Like, literally, because if I left for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason that I left for it I can't keep reliving that. And I tried it. I literally tried it. And y'all watch me deal with it and continue to deal with it to the point where, now we have a child together. And it's like, all right, I can't. I don't want my daughter to see that behavior. That's not healthy behavior. It's not a healthy way of doing things. And I got my own shit. Like, I'm not saying I'm not wrong in a lot of situations. I probably am, right? But I'm more right than I am wrong. And so we carry on from there. You deal what you deal with the way you deal with it. I deal what I deal with the way I deal with it, and we move on. I don't want my children to see an abusive relationship or a relationship that's fussing, fighting, yelling, screaming, hollering all the fucking time. That's sad. That's sad.
When you get to that point, it definitely is time to leave. It is definitely time to go into your neutral corners. When you're constantly arguing, fussing, and fighting, and you can't agree on anything, especially when it comes to the kid or whatever, it is time to go to your neutral corners, and it's time for you to realize what's going on with you. As a parent that has grown so much, so much, my children's father is my bro. What's up, bro? If I felt like he was slacking on communication or time with my children, I text him, hey, listen, I just heard them little girls having a conversation about you, and they said they haven't seen you. Daddy-daughter day is approaching. And, yeah, you might need to get your junior and, do some shit with him, too. Right. And that's how I didn't call him on the phone. At first, in the first year of our separation, I would call him on the phone like, the fuck, you ain't seen your kids, da-da-da-da-da-da. And he'd be like, man, whatever. But I didn't handle it how I handle it now. Now it's like, hey, so I heard them having a conversation. They haven't seen you. They haven't heard from you, whatever. Even now with him not being on the streets, I'll send him, because, communication is different. Right. I'll send him a little text and say, hey, listen, holla at your son. Like, make a phone call home as soon as you can, holla at your son. And sometimes that's all my kids need, is to just hear his voice or see his face, or, hey, we need to visit today. We need to do something. With the way technology is today, even when they're incarcerated, we're still a part of everything. Right. My daughter went to the prom on Friday, and the nigga was at the prom for 30 minutes, he said. I said, boy, you crazy. Like, we was great. We was geeked up. But I'm not going to allow you to miss anything that you wouldn't miss if you was on the streets. Now, if you was on the street not doing nothing, you on your own in this shit. So that shows me the growth in me. I'm a different parent. But at the same time, when I say everybody thinks that you're supposed to count out people who are not in your presence every day, that's not what you're supposed to do with that parent. You're supposed to make sure that child still has that parent no matter where they are. Even if they're passed on, you still include that parent in that child's upbringing so that child will remember that I still have that other parent. He's just not here with me in the physical.
It's hard.
It is hard. But I'm too grown to allow you to taint anything that I've already built.
Who knew being a parent was so hard?
Child, our parents made it look so easy. Thanks, Mom.
I remember
they made it look so easy.
I remember calling my mom and telling her I was sorry for everything that I said to her when I was a child. Because being a parent comes with a lot of choices. You have a lot of choices you have to make. And I failed in so many regards, right? But I'm good in others. So it's like, all right, well, let me just stay on these good regards that I'm good in and try not to, do those bad ones again. But, as a parent, we make mistakes. We overjudge, we underjudge, we underestimate, we overestimate. Like, it's certain situations that by the time you get to your third or fourth child, you should be a pro, right? So, I should be beyond pro, right? I should be Hall of Fame status, 7 kids. But, I love my kids, man. And
I'm a professional parent.
Yeah, I'm trying to have 3 more.
And this is the morning meeting. I thank y'all for coming out. I love y'all.
CMP Radio.
I will see y'all on Friday because this shit right here, 3 more.
Yeah, man.
3 more. Yeah. Well, so I'll see y'all on Friday. Pierre's not gonna have any more children. But it wasn't just me. Your dad had a lot to do with you and made you the $1 million baby and spoiled you. And I told him he was going to raise you, so he did. And he did a damn good job. We could respect for each other. You know what, Mom? You're not going to make me cry today. No, you're not.
slick shit. You can't comprehend. I know business.
You said what?
She not gonna make me cry today. I was full right. I told her my dad said I could have it. She said you can go over there and get it from that motherfucker too.
Ooh.
My mouth was flying. I know where I got it from. Her mouth vicious.
I could tell. She came at me on here.
I'm just trying to get a piece of mind. I'm just trying to get a piece of mind.